Hey, it's your man Royale Watkins. Follow me at Royale Watkins on all social media, and let's make something great together.
I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
Use code TFU10 for a discount on the full body cleanse.
This is O'Shea Jackson. You're listening to TFU Podcast, if you didn't know.
Welcome into another episode of TFU Podcast.
Let's go.
On today's episode, we got director, producer, writer, actor, comedian Royale Watkins.
How do you do?
Terrible, but he said it perfectly before we started.
Hey,
He
listen,
said,
One more time.
No,
Okay.
no, let
One
it
more time.
live, bro. Come on, Oscar De La Hoya, let it live. He got on that fight night suit.
The fight night suit is hilarious.
Come on, man.
Give me one more shot, right?
One more time.
Just the name. No, just the name. Just say it now.
Royale Watkins.
Hey, man. Bonjour, mon ami. Let's go.
It's Royale.
It's Royale.
Royale
It's
with
Royale.
cheese.
The emphasis, don't say Royale with cheese. You know how many times I heard that, man?
No,
It's
I
like,
know.
Jesus Christ.
Pulp
It's
Fiction
like,
been around for years.
God
so-
bless it, though. It's all
yeah,
good.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome,
Thank you, brother.
man.
Uh-huh.
So you the king.
I wouldn't say
Man,
the
you
king,
the
but
king when it comes to specials. We're going to go through your history, but I just want to just say, 30 some odd specials is big time, man.
Well, here's the thing, just to clarify. So
Okay.
I got about, I think Mike's Delusional is number 35 or 36.
Okay.
But all of them aren't me directing. So I started
Okay.
producing first.
Got it.
That's how I got my foot in. And then from producing, I went, wait a minute, let me learn how to direct.
Got
So
you.
then I co-directed a few, and then I graduated. You know what I mean? I had put the took the cap in and tilted it sideways and go, all right, you get tired of splitting the money.
Absolutely.
And then at a certain point, the talent has to go, okay, what are we doing? Who am I working with? And I have to be able to say, motherfucker, me.
Right.
And you have to learn like how everything works so that you can confidently say, all right, I know how to direct this and I can, take you from point A to point B.
I think what it is it's nothing like for me, I play basketball. And when I played basketball with a coach that played basketball,
Yeah.
I respected him a lot more. He understood me. He knew my struggles. And what I mean by that is you also are a comedian.
Yeah.
So therefore, when you're dealing with another comedian, you know their issues because you've been through it.
Listen, this is why when comics work with me,
Right.
they know that we leveling up because like when we did Delusion, when I work with Mike, I go out on the road with Mike for 6 months. We write the material together, I punch up, and by the time we shoot the special, we're locked in because he knows that I know the whole show.
Damn.
I know
you
the whole
travel
show.
with him for 6
We
months?
go out on the road together. I'm still performing. So we do a two-man
okay.
show in the clubs, right? I'm hosting and he's closing. And I get the benefit of me getting stage time so I can still scratch that itch as a performer and work out what I need to work out. But I'm also good at watching all of his shows and adding details and saying, hey, think about it this way. And again, by the time we get to put cameras on this stuff, I know where he's going. I know what he's thinking most of the time. Every once in a while, he'll surprise me.
That is absolutely genius.
Every once in a while, he'll surprise me. But, again, it's, what's his name that used to play for the Clippers? I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now. Sam Cassell.
Okay.
It's you know what I mean? It's to your point. It's like having Sam Cassell.
As a coach.
Even as an assistant coach, if you're a player.
Right.
And you got a coach, but Sam is there. Then you sidebar with Sam and he know exactly what you did And so that's what I'm going through right now as a writer, producer, director in the stand-up comedy space.
I never knew that you actually traveled with them. Oh, that's genius, actually.
No, listen, that's how I get my money all the way.
No, I see it.
The director's check is cool, but if I could go out on the road for 6 months and I get paid as a performer, get paid as a writer, I'd sell T-shirts.
I love it.
I try to carve up the whole thing. When I went out with Mike, I was like, "Oh, you don't have merch? You ain't selling no T-shirts?
Right.
Let me get that as a part of what we do. Let me get the T-shirt. I'll go out after the show and sling T-shirts with his face on it. I don't care."
No, that's dope. That's genius, actually. Good for you.
Yeah, man. That's a hustle. You got hustle out here.
Yeah. LA a tough place. It's expensive.
Man, say it again, though.
LA a tough place.
I don't care where you go.
Yeah.
The whole thing costs.
Right, it do.
The whole fucking thing costs. Everything costs $1,000 out here.
Wow.
Everything.
Now that's beautiful. So I know you're from Washington, D.C.
Yeah, D.C. I'm from
Chappelle's
D.C.
from D.C. too,
Chappelle is from D.C. Tommy Davidson's from D.C.
Ooh.
Earthquake is from D.C.
Ooh.
Tony Woods is from D.C. Donnell Rollins is from D.C. Wanda Sykes is from D.C., Virginia. We claim her. She's a D.C. comic. Okay. Red Grant is a D.C. comic. We got hitters. Who you want? I mean,
yeah. We got hitters. We got history right there.
Martin Lawrence. Whoa. Let me slow down. I forgot Marty Mart. Okay. Marty Mart is D.C. So anybody that wanna, like, if y'all wanna, if it's gang wars, like, if it's joke for joke, our city run, they know. You know what I mean? I hear a lot of people
about
talk.
Chicago too.
Listen, you wouldn't let me get to it. AD, Chicago be wanting it,
right?
And you can run Chicago all day long.
Okay.
I can run the names all day, whether it's Bernie, Dion, Lil Rel. You know what I mean? Chicago run deep. Corey Holcomb. Right. I can run names from Chicago. I think they claim Robin Harris. I think, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think. I could be wrong. I think Robert Townsend might be Chicago. Okay. They run deep. Atlanta is new deep. You know what I mean? Right. Atlanta is social media talent, all these young up. But outside, and LA is going to always be LA.
Right.
But they know DC run deep.
Gotcha.
So pound for pound, we in a conversation.
So I know you started off as a comedian.
Started off as a stand-up. Look, I'm one of 14 kids. I got 11 brothers and 2 sisters.
We do know that.
Yeah, and so when you're in a dynamic,
I was 17.
I saw an interview.
It's some numbers. So like it's some.
Your father? Is that all your dad?
So I have 2 older brothers.
Okay.
But then also just a real conversation. Like my dad had one when he was real young.
Okay.
That we found out about. Like I'm talking about like when he was like 15, 16.
Damn.
Yeah. So I got a damn grandmother sister.
Okay.
And then I have I have 2 siblings that passed young.
Oh, okay.
So like when I have a bit where I talk about my siblings, and I go Rice, Rome, Ramon, Ramel, Race, Royale, Ramlet, Ralph, Reggie, Lord, Tammy, Ronald, Darryl. But my siblings, Karen and Regent, I just, you know, I mean, for me, it's like hard to add them into that run just because they're not here. So it's just been, and I didn't grow up with them. They were before me.
So one of 14, or how many did you grow up with?
13 of my siblings.
How, as Chaos. A kid, because I grew up in a family of 4.
Yeah.
So a family of 14, how are you seen?
You're not.
That's what I'm.
With a belt.
You said what?
With a belt. No, you.
They only know when you mess up, basically.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, okay. Yeah, I'm being a little hyperbolic.
Right.
But, you know, it's pure chaos all the time.
Of course.
Listen. One, I don't know how my parents had time to have sex to have more kids.
Yeah.
Because somebody always was sick. And when you're sick as a kid, you want to sleep in the bed with your parents.
Right.
So how are you managing that?
Right.
We're always fighting. Mm-hmm. We grew up in poverty. You know, we were food stamp kids. My dad was a plumber. My mother was pregnant. Like, seriously. You know what I mean? It was 6 of us in the same school at the same time. Mm-hmm. So that means my mother was up there checking on us, trying to be a school aide or some shit, always selling Avon. You know what I mean? You know, that type of shit. Mm-hmm. But when you got that many kids, it's just chaos. So, and it's boys. My mother was a fucking boy machine. I got 11 brothers and 2 sisters. So that's 12 boys back to 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 back.
Wait a minute, did anybody play sports?
Not to the extent that, you know what I mean, we ain't got nobody in the league. This
I know for sure. The Watkins family didn't have any trouble or any fights at school.
Let me tell you something, bro.
It's too many of you guys.
Let me tell you something. You know them schools where had the glass window like this?
Right.
I remember one time I got in a fight with somebody, And I walked around to each class, knocking on the window, pointing at my brothers, like,
"Yeah, we got one.
We got one. We got to do it. We got to do it." My father was strict on this, like, ain't no one-on-ones.
Oh no,
any twins?
One set of twins under me, Rafe and Race. Yeah,
man, that's a lot.
It is.
So you said the only way you got seen is basically when you got in trouble.
I mean, it's like, you know, you're seeing everybody. It's just too much going on. And I looked at the house that we grew up in DC. It's a row house, and as an adult, you know, I have 3 sons. Right, we live in here in Cali. I have a decent sized house. It's like 2,400 square feet. It's 4 bedroom, 3 baths. Everybody had their own room. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like, how do you? There was like 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. They weren't even really bedrooms. It was a principal bedroom, my mom and dad's room. My sisters had the room here, a bathroom, and then there was this kind of back room that they split in 2. That was like 6 of us boys in there, or 7 of us at one time. And then my older brothers had the basement. Right. So that was like, oh, y'all down in the basement. It was just wide open. And so you just had to manage your way through. It was 2 sets of bunk beds back there.
Got you.
I remember my mother and father would come back there and whoop us, and it'd just be people on bunk beds with a switch or a belt.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just you're not really saying. But for me, I was like, oh, be funny or be an entertainer. So all of the talent shows in school, I started out dancing, doing Michael Jackson, being funny, whatever, because that was a way to go, oh, I can be seen.
Right. Exactly.
And then that started to elevate. I started to get more comedy specific because everybody loved to laugh and girls loved to laugh. So that was like, oh, okay, let me ride this. And by the time I got to college, I was in college in my 2nd year, and we would used to gather in the like lunchroom, game room area. And there's this one dude named Aldine Pearson. We used to snap on each other, right? Joan is. And I watched him host the fashion show for our homecoming week.
Okay.
He hosted the fashion show, and this motherfucker took all of the jokes that we were doing snapping at the table on stage and used them and got paid. And I said, how much you get paid to host the show? He's like, they gave me $1,200. I was like, what? I said, motherfucker, you took all of it? I was like, oh, that's a wrap. The next year, I got on the board of the homecoming committee as a student. And I said, let me work on the comedy show. Let me book it for you guys, right, with you. I booked Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle, Tony Woods, Tommy Davidson, James Stevens III, and put myself on as the host.
What year is this?
Oh, this is 89, 90.
So a lot of those names weren't really names.
Nah. Martin was just started. Oh, Mark Curry. I put Mark Curry on the show.
Okay, he had more of a name.
But Mark Curry had but remember, this is pre-social media. So
did he have his show or
no? Hell no.
No. Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
He may have just done Bay Area Black Comedy Competition or something like that. I think I may have seen him at Constitution Hall opening for Damon Wayans and then put him on this show. So it had to be around 89.
Got you.
Because I put myself on the show as the host.
I love that.
So I was like, oh, fuck that. And got paid $1,000, worked with all of the cats that I looked up to, right? But then I was in the Marine Corps Reserve.
Yeah.
So then 90 happens, and Desert Shield, Desert Storm is happening.
Right.
And I get a little knock. They're going, all right, my guy, college was cool, but now you're going over here to Iraq.
Is that how it works?
Oh, just like that. You get a call up from your unit saying, oh, we being mobilized.
But you're in the reserves. You're not actually in, I don't know how it works. So help me.
You're in the reserves.
When you're in the reserves.
And there is a war or conflict going on.
Okay.
And the military needs bodies. You stop what you're doing in your tracks, go get your shit, and report to the base that you're connected to, which was Bowling Air Force Base for me in Maryland, and show up and go, okay.
Wait a minute. Oh, do they? Okay, I don't know nothing about war.
You're about to learn.
Yeah, good. So I want to understand this. Are you prepared as an individual to go into war? Have they been preparing you for this?
Oh, I've gone to boot camp.
Okay.
I've gone to Marine Corps boot camp. I'm a United States Marine who just decided that I don't want to go into the active duty, so I will be a reservist. So that means once a month, I'll show up to the base where I go to train on a Saturday. And then once out of the year, I will show up to go on a trip somewhere for 2 weeks into whatever location they drop us off in to train for 2 weeks. So now that's supposed to keep you ready for when something happens.
That gets you ready for war?
That gets you ready for whatever they need you for. And under these circumstances, it was Iraq and Kuwait, Desert Shield, Desert Storm. And so now, in the middle of me running around this school, enjoying myself, and trying to educate and get a degree, they went, no, that all stops. And now, come to the base, right? Get your shit together, say goodbye to your family, and from there, down to North Carolina, Camp Lejeune. I think a week of training and getting checked out and getting a weapon and getting your uniforms. And then from there, from North Carolina on a fucking big ass plane all the way over to Iraq. I think a 14-hour flight. I remember.
God damn.
So you went from doing your comedy, hiring comedians, being in college, to immediately being in a war.
Absolutely.
That's a drastic change.
It is life-changing. It's life-changing.
How long were you there?
I thought I was there forever. I'm being dead ass. I'm being dead ass with you.
I know.
When you get dropped off into a location and there's no street signs and you're in the middle of the desert and the environment is completely what it was, and it's 117 degrees, and you have on a flak jacket and a helmet and boots and you're carrying a rifle and, grenades and all of this shit. It feels like forever. It turns out I went and looked at my records because I had to go straighten out all of my VA stuff. I'm a vet.
Okay.
I wear all that shit. But it turns out I think I was on the ground in Iraq and Kuwait somewhere between 9 months and a year.
Got it.
Somewhere it's a little sketchy because I don't remember because we moved around and then some of the records aren't completely accurate. But somewhere like say 10 months to a year, I was like physically on the ground in Iraq and Kuwait.
Maybe you can give us an idea. Because many people don't understand war because America really hasn't had a war on our ground, so we never got a chance to see it live. What was it like?
It's interesting. What it's like is...
Because I can imagine the people within that community there in Kuwait, Iraq, and all that stuff, they're not fans of you guys, right?
You can't imagine.
Yeah.
You really can't.
Can you get shot at?
Shot at directly? No, not like I wasn't in a situation where I was shot at. I've carried bodies. I've said my last prayer. Yeah, I went through a friendly fire incident where I was like, "Oh, I'm dead. My body is going to be in a box."
When you say friendly fire, that means
means. Tell you what happened.
Okay.
It's 2 a.m. It's the desert. So that means we're in the middle of the desert. You're in a tent. It's, again, 2 a.m. It's dark. So you're trying to rest. And the loudest sound I've ever heard in my life, an explosion goes off. The ground is shaking. Right? It's like, holy fuck. That's like, then you hear an alarm. You hear this alarm, that means this is MOP level 4, the highest level of attack, which is a chemical and biological attack. And so if you remember anything about that or saw a picture, if you've seen anybody in a green suit, that's forget what they call it, a MOP suit. But it's a suit you put on with your gas mask because you're under attack from a chemical and biological agent. This is how you're supposed to try to save your life. So I'm trying to process at 19, 20 years old, like, holy fuck, I got to get in this suit, right? Sure. You can't turn on lights. You give away your position. You have, again, young Marines. I don't give a fuck what they are. You're still scared. So you have people throwing up in their masks in the dark. You know what I mean? You have people who aren't completely capable of handling their weapons under pressure.
Right.
And so you hear people firing their weapons by accident. It's in the dark now. You have a flashlight. It has a red little thing that calls a moonbeam. Put the red lens on it so you can turn it on in the dark. And you're supposed to get it dressed as quickly as possible and get out to a bunker. Right. You want to get to a bunker.
Gotcha.
Because in the dark, I'm saying, holy fuck, if this alarm has gone off and we're now getting into our MOP suit and getting weapons and running to a bunker, there's something coming. And so the only point of reference I have is like the boogeyman's on this way. Like when that thing out there is what you don't know, it's the unknown, it's the boogeyman. But whatever it is penetrated the defense that we have, or the perimeter defense that we have, and now we have to fight it. So that means this is a locked and loaded M16. I'm gonna have to shoot it and kill somebody before they kill me. So we're in the bunker for about an hour and a half in the dark waiting. All right. There's a Marine that's standing there who stood there for about, at attention for the whole hour and a half in shock. Right. And so you can imagine, again, for that amount of time.
You said in shock.
Yeah, he's in shock. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? He's like standing at attention. He's like, what are you going to do? We're in the dark, in the bunker. He's like, you can't say shit to him. It's like, this is what it is. And so this is his way of responding to this, you know?
Right.
And so after about an hour and change, we get the all clear. It turns out it was one of our jets that accidentally dropped a missile overhead, like outside of our compound.
Accidentally?
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what happens. Like, war is when you have to put people out there on the front lines. Like, again, people are going to lose their lives. I have run out to the helicopters. I've flown in, like, everything. Sea Stallions, Sea Knights, to go to use the phone, to go get food. You know what I mean? Those big-ass helicopters you see flown in. It's like, who wants to go use the phone to call their family, right? You have to go call your family so people stateside have to feel comfortable that children are alive.
Right.
Because then they have to talk to the news. And that's what, like, sets a tone for how the country responds and feels about war. And so you'd be surprised, AT&T and who's in business, who makes money. It's like the prison system, right? The people who grease the palms of politicians are the ones that get it. In-N-Out was over there. In-N-Out Trucks was over in Iraq and Kuwait selling hamburgers.
That's crazy.
So you get your money and it goes straight to In-N-Out because you're hungry, you know what I mean? So was that incident. I had another incident where as a reservist, active duty Marines aren't the kindest people to reservists, especially white racist active duty military cats.
Because you deal with racism.
Oh, but here's the thing. So now, not only am I dealing with the boogeyman that's out there, because the government told me that this is the person that's the boogeyman and who we need to, is the enemy. But now I am being thrown into a tent with this unit of Marines who are have been together for, you know, the last 5-10 years, that their crew, they're a gang, right?
Right.
Now you're a new guy. And the white one who's been taught that, oh, black people are, you know, less than you. If there's one of them that's getting educated and going to college, then he thinks he's better than you. So now you're going to be a complete asshole to him. And so I had one who was being shitty to a guy that was from my reserve unit. Now, the guy from my reserve unit, I'm intentionally not using names, was a little off. You know what I mean? It's like Bible thumping, you know, God, and just slightly off. And he snitched on this Marine because we had shit duty, whereas out in the desert, they got these porta potties or what. They're just like man-made porta potties, wooden shacks or whatever. And you cut a hole in them, and you put a steel drum up on them, and it's 3 in a row, and you go out there to shit. It's called a shitter, right? Wow. That's it. There's 3 holes in the thing. You go out there and use it with, like, us 3 right now could be in a shitter, sitting next to each other, taking a dump. So you shit in this barrel up under it, and to dispose of it, you have to pour diesel fuel on it and stir it, and that's how you get rid of it. Now, that's such a very shitty detail, right? But somebody has to do it. So they would call people out and figure out who had to do it. This one Marine was going to hide up under his cot, right? So he has a cot that's laid out. He takes his blanket, so to speak, and drapes it over it, and now he's up under it hiding. The Marine that was from my unit called him out, said, hey, come from under the thing, snitched on him. So when he came out, he's like, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I was like, you ain't doing shit.
Right.
Because I had it with all of them. He's like, I'm not talking to you, Watt. I'm talking to him. I was like, motherfucker, if you're talking to him, you're talking to me. If you want to do something, then let's talk. He said some shit. I took my rifle and clack, clack, and pointed that motherfucker at his head, telling him I'm going to blow his brains out. I'm not being dead ass serious.
No, I can see you being there.
This close from him. And everything stopped. And it was the moment that I realized, oh, shit. right? This like, it's shit happening out here. And so everything stopped. Motherfuckers like, all right. And then I realized, oh, this has just gotten dangerous. So then I had to go, shit, let me lower my weapon. And I did. And then they moved him, and it was a Puerto Rican guy that was in their unit that was a rank higher than me. Rank matters in the military. All that shit, you got to respect rank. So he was a E4, E5, and I was an E4. So he came to me afterwards and was like, yo, why? You can't do that. He's like, because we're engineers, so that means we control the tents, all these big-ass green tents where people go take showers. He's like, if you got a problem with somebody, we take it to the tent, which means you can go in there and fight it out.
Right.
I looked at this dude. I said, man, if you get the fuck out of my face, I'll fuck you up. Them niggas was like, leave this nigga alone. I'm telling you, they was like, leave him alone.
No, I get it.
Then I was like, oh, fuck. I got to go in the tent with these niggas and sleep. And then I had my boys, but we got dispersed. We from the same unit, but you know, you're a driver, you're an engineer, you're an electrician. We got to go to different. And so it's like, yo, man, you got to figure that shit out. But what turns out is like, nah, like this here real motherfucker. And them motherfuckers are like, anytime, you know, you get care packages where your family send you shit. The motherfuckers would get care packages. Mama would send them cookies and shit. They come right to me. What, you want some cookies, man? It's like, nah, I'm good. After that, ain't no problems.
No more.
Yeah, it's like, this nigga's crazy. Don't fuck with him.
No, I get
but
that.
But when you ask me what's war, imagine that at 19, 20 years old having to process shit like that.
You know, I get it. And then, like you said, it's something extremely hard to deal with.
It is. But you know what I realized in all of that?
What's that?
I realized that life could be this long or this short.
Right.
This long or this short. And the only thing, in my opinion, that makes a difference is that you are completely tapped into your purpose and pursuing that.
So how long, when you came back, did it take you to adjust?
Yeah, like as far
Do
as...
I look like I've adjusted?
Well, you're doing pretty well for yourself.
Yeah, that's what it is. So you try to look like you're adjusted, but you know, this shit
I can still see it's still.
Let me tell you something, really. I really did. I've done a good job for years of pretending like
you're okay.
Yeah, I was okay. And then my wife was like, no, you're not. No,
yeah.
they're like,
that's
at
the
a
person
certain
that
point,
knows you the best.
You're not, you need to. And I would go to the VA to try to get, start getting VA benefits and then be like, oh, I'm cool. I don't need this shit. And then it's like, nah, let me go to therapy because they're like, as a part of this process, you got to go to these therapy sessions. I fucked around and got in a therapy session. I was like, oh, shit. The shit that I had pushed down for so long.
But I think that's what we do as men. I think men, we just bury it.
Of course.
And we keep.
Let me tell you something.
We stay on the goal.
Especially black men.
Especially black men.
And mask it with everything that we possibly can mask it with. Except the truth.
Yeah.
And then guess what? It shows up in all of these other places.
Yeah, it does.
And fucks up our life. And before we get an opportunity to fucking manage it the proper way. And then we expect everybody else to manage it, right? Because we can't.
Right.
So we dumping on people. We're out in the street talking to people recklessly, right? We're at home talking to people, acting out recklessly.
It's funny. It's funny that you say it like that because I know sometimes if somebody catch you at that right moment, that could be their ass.
Let me tell you something, man. I was driving over here, and thank God for therapy and a lot of healthy stuff for me personally, because I was driving and somebody did some shit, and my instinct now is to get the fuck out of their way.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, 10, 15 years ago, I chased motherfuckers down.
Right.
I chased them down. Right.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about me. And again, I had to come to the realization like, what that shit was attached to. And it was other stuff that I've gone through since we're in this space, having lost a couple of my siblings and these experiences, having been so angry about stuff that, again, it's like trying to take out this stuff on the world rather than deal with it. But yeah, I chase cars down, man. Fuck that. If you slight me, then we have to figure it out, even if it's on the side of the road.
Oh yeah, that's my dad actually. My dad,
it's my dad.
My dad is the exact same way. Somebody do anything to him, he following them. He on the side of them, telling them to get out the car. And my father was an amateur boxer, so when they got out the car, all he did was whoop ass.
Yeah, bop bop,
boop, and it was over. Where he get back in the car, I'm looking at this motherfucker like, oh yeah, he ain't to be.
Let me tell you something, man. It's funny that you said that. So my dad was like 6'1", like 290. Yeah, he's a big dude,
big guy.
Right? Yeah, but he come from a family of boys too. I think it was like 11 of them, right?
Right.
And my dad was pure chaos, right? And I remember one time being at a family cookout, and my godmother was dating a dude, and I swear my dad must have really liked my godmother. My mom is one of 16 kids, so she got 12 sisters and 3. So he get all of these, young sister-in-laws that are cute. So I think my dad liked my godmother's, you know what I mean? Just like,
right.
Whatever this dude said to my godmother, my father went ape shit, right? Kill him, do this. And it took everybody at the cookout to get my dad in the van and say, this motherfucker got to go.
Right.
And I've seen him pull over on the side of the road. And my dad's a contractor, plumbing, electrical, so he had shit in the car. Motherfucker grab a sleeve, a pipe, and beat some, you know what I mean? It's like, you see that as a kid, you're like, this is unhealthy.
Yeah.
And that's a part of your DNA.
Yeah.
Unless you fix it.
Yeah.
Unless you address it.
I don't know if I know I haven't fixed it. I just, I've been burying it deep down in there.
Like,
I don't know how to get it out. But I'm proud of you to go to therapy though.
Got to.
Yeah, see.
I want to be healthy.
It's interesting because I don't do like get out of the car, but like a couple of days ago, somebody did something to piss me off, and I just like followed them to scare them until I have to get to my exit. And I've done it before. I don't know why I do it.
Yeah.
About to figure it out.
Yeah, you definitely got to figure that one out because you followed the wrong person.
Oh, man,
they waiting for you to pull up on the side of you. It's over just like that.
Especially out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, so now you're there for 10 months and then now you coming back home, right?
Coming back. And guess what? Again, I'm very clear about what I want to do with my life is comedy. I leave school immediately. I'm not doing that no more. And jump right on stage. And for me, the timeline between when I got back, when I went, Def Jam had just started cooking, had the opportunity to showcase for it, got on Def Comedy Jam, did the show, did a bit on the show that exploded. Russell and them was like, oh, we love this guy.
Right.
Got on the Def Comedy Jam tour, and that literally changed everything for me.
Wow.
Changed everything for me. I did one joke on Def Comedy Jam that changed my entire life.
What was the joke?
That was a joke where I came out and said, I was here in New York City. I got beat up the last time, but you guys look like a good audience. We're not going to have that problem tonight. And while I was saying, I was taking my blazer jacket off, and I turned around and I had the gun tucked in my back.
That is so
That was
funny.
the gun bit.
Oh, okay.
The gun bit changed everything for me.
Okay.
When I turned around and them niggas in New York saw that gun, honestly, if you go and look at that set, if you pull up that joke,
I was looking for it, but the only thing I keep seeing only audio.
No, if you find that joke,
okay,
look at my face when I turn back around because I'm scared shitless that I can't follow the rest of the jokes that I have. Can't follow how they responded to this bit.
Right,
I practiced it and. In New York City, they was like, holy shit, they didn't see it coming.
Right.
And so the Def Comedy Jam audience, they went bananas for that. And I was like, can the rest of these jokes hold up under now the weight of what just happened? And it kind of did, but at that moment I was like, woo, man, I got to figure
like fire.
Yeah, but guess what? It was probably one of Def Comedy Jam. If people go, oh, here are the bits that sit out, I think I might make the top 10 with the gun in the back joke.
That's big time, especially with the cast of people that came on that show.
Oh, there's no question. There's no
crazy cast.
Yeah. That was that. I look at comics that are touring now and what's happening in comedy now, and it's incredible. It blows me away. But I was on tour with Kid Capri, Bernie Mac, Bill Bellamy, Adele Givens, Joe Torre, Ricky Harris, and Reggie McFadden. Like, that was the original Def Comedy Jam tour.
Now tell me this: were you there when Bernie Mac came out and said, "I ain't scared of these motherfuckers"?
I think I was in New York at the tapings, but not at that particular show, right? Because what happens is, again, they're taping, like, say, 16 shows or 20 shows over the course of a 4-day period.
Right.
So you get flown in as a new comic. You're at the hotel. Like, you know what I mean? You're doing all of this stuff. And for me, I wasn't from New York. So this is kind of a new experience for me.
Right.
And, you know, and you just want to show up on your tape day and hang out. So it wasn't my tape day.
Got you.
But when that happened, it reverberated across everything. It's like some shit just went down that motherfuckers is not going to believe.
I heard, and I don't know what's true, I heard a lot of people went up and didn't do well that day.
There's a comic before him that didn't do well.
Didn't do well, yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. It's sometimes the universe will just catch lightning in a bottle. And things happen that can't be explained under any other circumstances, and Bernie just caught one. But you have to be prepared for the moment, and Bernie was prepared for the moment.
That's crazy. It's crazy that you guys
I miss him so much, man. Good God.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's crazy how you guys come up with those kinds of things within the moment, just like that.
Well, sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. Right. Some of these things are being revisited because if you think about the number of times a working comic is on the stage, it's like you got a lot of comics that do crowd work, but DL to me is like one of the kings of crowd work. He's been doing it forever. And so I've seen DL, he's got to have seen, if you ask what do you do for a living, how long you been married? If you do stand-up comedy, DL is a road warrior, right? Let's see, he's a club killer, right? So if you're doing 5 shows a weekend times 4 weekends a month, like 20 shows times 12 months out of the year, you're easily 300, you know what I mean? So you're seeing at least some traces of things that have recurred before. So it's not all completely new.
Right.
And you become so adept at finding stuff on the spot that your creative sense knows in advance. It's like AI. AI can sense based on all of the information that's taken in, like how it should respond to things.
Exactly. So I know Steve really, really well.
Which
Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
So I know him really, really well. And I saw what he did with Family Feud. It's just amazing. Man. A lot of people don't know that story, and you probably know the story. They were going out of business.
I don't know the whole story.
So Steve told it to me. They had 3 months left. They had 3 months before they were going to be off the air. They're not going to do it anymore. And Steve comes in and he performs, and he gets this outstanding rating.
Yep.
It's so high
to
the point they said, it's no way you can continue to rate this high. Rate this high. He was just like, I can do this all day, every day. And the thing that I learned about Steve, because I've been around him a lot, is that he takes advantage of those moments.
There's no question.
He doesn't let them slip by.
Yeah.
He doesn't let them slip by. And for you guys to do that, you comedians, is just like, you just to take advantage of every situation. And you guys are fearless, because sometimes you don't know what's on the other side of that.
But I'll say this in response to that. Steve is a rare talent in comedy and entertainment who can operate both sides of the brain simultaneously. His creative sense is always working in conjunction with his business sense.
Right.
Steve is a consummate businessman. Right. He knows what the business. He's built comedy clubs. Steve brought me to Dallas when he had that comedy club once, and I just did Def Comedy Jam. I've learned 2 really important lessons in stand-up comedy. One of them was from T.K. Kirkland, and the other one was from Steve Harvey, right?
Can you share?
I will.
Okay, cool.
When I was young and I just did Def Jam, I did that bit and had all of this attention. So you're walking around like, with your chest out, like the big hand on the block.
Right.
Steve said, come on down to Dallas, come to my club and, I'll have you perform. Oh, yeah, come on, Steve Harvey, let's get it.
Right.
Fly down there. I get there, go to the club. Steve built the most amazing comedy club. I swear I wish it was open to this day. It's that thing where when it's a performer building something, he's building it for performers.
Gotcha.
Got there Thursday, they picked me up, and I get there, I'm like looking for the other comics, like who else is on the show? He was like, nah, it's me and you, we're gonna do whoop you. I'm like, me and you? Thursday we do the show. I'm like, how is this gonna work, bro? It's like, I'm the headliner. What, you told me I'm headlining. I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna open, then I'll bring you up, and then I'll go back up and do some more time. All right? Okay, cool. Steve Harvey goes up and does about 45 minutes in front of me.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, the Thursday show had me like, okay, I go up after him and drown for about 35, 40 minutes. And finally catch my breath to be done at the 50-minute mark, right? I think I had to do like 50 minutes or whatever. The whole weekend, that was my whole experience. Steve opening. He said, we might have a guest spot or, I'll put somebody up if you come through. But it was basically Steve going up, hosting the show in his room. He knew where every nook and cranny was. And then the weekend, fucking Dallas Cowboys showed up, and it was his boys, and, it's all of this nuance shit and frat shit. And the motherfucker got a joke. If a fly moved left, he got a joke for that. As the host opening, he started the show 20, 25, 30 minutes of just rah, rah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Royale Watkins. And me dying. And then at the end of the weekend, it's like, what'd you learn?
Right.
Are you going to call yourself a headliner and just be ready to headline?
There you go.
Motherfucker lesson learned. Thank you, Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
To this day, I will never forget the lesson. If you're going to call yourself a headliner, you better have a show.
There you go.
That was the first one. The second one, Def Comedy Jam Tour. The hottest tour in the country, no doubt. 93, 94, you couldn't touch comedy.
Right.
If it wasn't Def Comedy Jam.
Right.
We are playing for New Year's, Chicago. It is Bernie Mac's coming home party. Bernie Mac is hosting. We played at Chicago Theater. I'm pretty sure it was I don't think it was the Airy Crown. I think it was Chicago Theater. It was one of the two. Whatever it was. 94, I'll never forget it. We've been doing the tour. I've been fine, right? Because all I had to do was go out and do 7, 8 minutes. I was the baby on tour, right? And I was so celebrated because of that one bit that they was like, oh, that's to do with the gun, right? I could coast through 8 minutes, right? Get to Chicago, New Year's, and before we even can get in the building, right? We flying first class. We got tour buses. It's rock star shit, right? There's no social media, right? But it's all hype and radio and magazines, Word Up Magazine, Bill Bellamy and fly ass Bill Bellamy. And so it's showtime. I've seen Kid Capri perform open shows, Def Comedy, countless times.
Right.
94 Chicago New Year's Eve. This motherfucker did some shit that I've never seen in my life. His opening set, Kid Capri on them turntables. By the time he finished his set, probably like 5, 6, 7 minutes long, Chicago Theater was like this. Right? He's like, y'all ready for a show? He introduced Bernie Mac. They went from here to here.
Right.
Bernie Mac came out of motherfucking the side wings to his home crowd of Chicago and said, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. And it had just really, that motherfucker went haywire. He did about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then he bought me out. Them motherfuckers booed me so bad. AD. I have never, this is the hardest thing to do as a comic, is to hook the microphone back up to the stand before your time. I realized I just wasn't going to win that night. And I remember it started off as one boo, and then I just wasn't me telling them little family jokes I was telling that I thought was so cute. And I had like gone, I'm not doing the gun bit anymore. I guess I got to move away from that. And the motherfuckers booed me off the stage. I walk off the stage. Bernie comes back out. He's like, hold up, motherfucker Chicago. This my motherfucker hometown. And this my motherfucker Miller right here. Motherfucker made me come back out and made the audience give me a round of applause. Right? Now, all of that would be okay. But in the wings, sitting here watching the show from the side of the stage, is Richard Dent, Bo Jackson, and Michael fucking Jordan.
Damn.
And their wives. So Michael Jordan has just witnessed me get booed off the stage.
Right.
After the show, they're on the stage. They're all talking to Michael Jordan and, great show this. And from the back of the thing, through the curtains, I'm peeking like this. I'm back like this, peeking through the theater curtain like, fuck! That go Michael Jordan right there. That motherfucker don't want to talk to you. Now, after the show, I go down to the green. Here's a kicker. There's a second show. We got to do another show.
Okay.
So I go to the green room. We have food set up, and TK Kirkland's at the show. And TK pulls me aside like, motherfucker, here's the problem. They think you scared of them. He said, you're in the middle of the stage. You telling them little family-ass jokes, You letting them run the show. He said, when you go back out there this time, go straight to the front of the stage. And he said, if anybody say anything, he said, I don't give a fuck who they are, whether you can see them or not. He said, you talk about their mama. He said, you talk about their daddy. He said, you talk about their unborn kids. He said, you chew that motherfucker up so bad that everybody else know not to fuck
There
with
you go.
He said, and even if you have to make up a person, you do that. To this motherfucking day. When I come out, I always start at the top of the stage, unless I know for a fact that it's nothing for me to, you know what I mean? In a club, I don't need to do that. In a theater, I start at the top. Because you have to establish dominance in that space.
Got you.
You have to let them know, motherfucker, I'm here and I'm not fucking playing with you guys. And if somebody do say something, like even now when I do, like when I'm out with Mike, we do theaters. I'm hosting the show. You know what I mean? I start at the top and I snap on, I like have fun and find like 3 people. Oh, this nigga with the VA suit on. I know he had 80% disability. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Oh, she got on her Anita Baker, fucking dress. Where y'all gonna see Charlie Wilson after this? Because it lets them know that, oh, he could see us and he got jokes and you might want to relax and enjoy the show.
Got you.
So Steve Harvey and TK, those 2 notes help define a large part of how I approach stand-up.
So you mentioned one thing just now that I thought was really, really interesting. You said you'll make up a person. So if somebody's, or you, like, so you're
it's
on. It's
fucking 3,000 people out there in the dark.
Yeah. And
bitch,
you
fat bitch over there wearing her brother's sweatsuit. Bitch, shut the fuck up.
Okay, yeah, I get it. That's crazy.
You can't see what I don't see.
Right.
You can't see what I don't see.
Right.
We're in the dark, motherfuckers. And if I see you, even more so.
Right. Oh, that's genius right there.
Nigga, talk to me when you got teeth in your mouth, motherfucker. More than 4.
So you do that to command the stage.
Gotta command you have to let them know who's in charge.
Got you.
I'm running the show, motherfucker.
Now, how'd the second show go?
Second show went okay.
Okay.
I was still scarred. I was thinking about Michael Jordan the whole time.
Right. That was your chance.
Michael Jordan home fucking his wife, still thinking about me getting booed.
Bo Jackson and Michael Jordan.
Richard Dent, Bo Jackson, Michael Jordan, and their wives.
Crazy.
Juanita at the time.
Yeah.
Watch Royale get booed. That shit hurt. Hurt.
The one thing I mean, going back to like Steve Harvey, the one thing I thought he really did for a lot of comedians, he showed comedians, at least black comedians, let me say that they're great as hosts. Because I started seeing a lot of black comedians get opportunities to become hosts.
Do you know how long Steve has been doing stand-up?
Yeah, he's been doing it for a minute.
Do you know how long Steve Harvey's been doing stand-up? Can you imagine the spaces before Def Jam, before all of this urban shit was established, the spaces that Steve Harvey had to walk into, right, and command spaces in order to have an opportunity to be Steve Harvey, the stand-up comic.
Right.
I remember Earthquake telling me stories about Steve coming to a club that he was doing in Atlanta, and Steve was a star then. Right? I know Cedric has told stories about, so Steve has helped lay a part of the foundation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, Eddie Murphy's a star over here, right? And it's getting all of this attention. But Steve got to still be a blue collar worker in these clubs and hustling and building, you know what I mean, brick by brick by brick by brick.
Honest.
He got it honest.
Yeah.
He built it honestly. So when I see it, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't, you know, oh, I get it.
Right.
And the way he laid the radio piece into it.
Didn't he?
The radio piece was like, oh, shit, game over.
Yeah, I know. And a lot
when
of
you're talking to that many people every day.
He got one of the biggest radio shows in the country.
Come on,
10 million monthly listeners. I mean, 10 million listeners. And I know every quarter hour, just because I do business with him, is 750,000 people listening to him every 15 minutes.
Well, when you started doing the radio there, you know what I mean? Listen, I pay attention to everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My wife took a DHERBS with kombucha one day and got real sick. She's like, I was like, why would you take kombucha? I said, that's on you. That's not DHERBS.
Right.
You don't drink kombucha
When she get ready to do it again, let me know. I'll walk her through all 20
Okay.
days.
I like her thick the way she is now.
Okay, well then that's different.
Yeah, let's not disturb her. Got that wife weight that, you know what I mean, just feels good at night. You know?
Got you. So I know you also did a show, it's the Mixtape tour, right?
I do the Mixtape comedy show.
The Mixtape comedy show.
Let me tell you what's interesting about that. You want to hear that story?
Yeah, I would love it.
In 2008/09, I had a little bit too much money in my pocket, and my wife.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you don't know how to responsibly use it.
Okay.
Money is a tool.
Absolutely.
And not money for show.
Got you.
So we decided, we're going to go buy this house in Encino.
Mm-hmm.
Right? House was 1.6. It was on, I think, a half-acre lot. And my family's contractor. So we buy this house as a fixer-upper. I'm like, we're going to fix this shit up. We're going to be, new fly niggas in the neighborhood, right? $500,000 cash into the remodel, and I'm basically kind of trying to manage it and, show my family I still got it.
Right.
2009 happens, the market flips. I lose my job writing on a TV show. The wife isn't working, right? And now, holy shit, can't afford to hang on to the house, right? I have my house now. We still had that house. Hold on, I'll get there.
Okay.
We still have the house that we had.
Right.
And now the wife's saying, sell that house. We're moving into the Encino house. And I'm like, I'm not working. And I'm not, because I've transitioned into writing for TV and doing this stuff. I'm not a touring comic. So I don't have a base of people, of consumers that are going to show up to the clubs every weekend in order so that I can sustain the income.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, this is about to get funky. So I was like, no, we're not. And we fought, right? She started staying in the house with the kids, with the boys on air mattresses, planning herself. We're not leaving.
Right.
Doing fun activities with the boys on the, I was like, this is about to get bad. It got so bad that I was like, fuck, now we got to figure out, now we're about to lose money, and a lot of it fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now you just got to get it off your plate, because now it's fucking up my family,
mm-hmm.
right? My wife is mad. She's actually angry, but she's going to be angrier the longer she stays in this house we can't afford, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get rid of it, get her back to the house. She'll be angry here, but we'll distance ourselves from this loss. She didn't want to leave. Then I was realizing now you're at that point where the people who are going to lowball you, some people showed up and have friends bring some athletes by. We'll do I'll give you this. They're going to give you pennies on the dollar for it, right? And you're going to feel bad. And so I was like, I at one point, I wanted to burn that motherfucker down. I'm being dead ass with you. I wanted to burn that motherfucking house down because I have no money now.
Mm-hmm.
I was emotionally sick. I went from I weighed 214, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was down to 160 pounds trying to,
I
had no money. I was broke. There was no income, and I don't come from money.
Right.
I'm a food stamp baby, right? There's nobody that I can call to say, hey, I need 100,000 or, Here's the other piece. When I say I had too much money, another person who was working on some projects, everybody trying to do the real estate thing,
mm-hmm.
I threw them $150K for some projects, right? But it wasn't a loan, it was an investment. They lost their shit. So now the backup, I'm rabbit ears out this bitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so broke that I was like, fuck, I got to figure something out. Go to Anthony Anderson, who's a friend.
Got it.
Ant, I have a little bit of a challenge here. I need your help. Ant's like, whatever you need, I got you. I say, okay, cool. Let me just go back to what I know, which is stand-up comedy. Let me put together a show. I said, if we co-host it together, we could bring people in. I just make enough money to. He's like, bro, let's go. I was going to do it here in LA, but then Anthony was doing Law and Order in New York. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, I can't expect him to get on a plane and come back to LA. I got to do it in New York. I used to live in New York for 6 years before I moved out here. So I knew the lay of the land. Mm-hmm. And so I go to this club. The club owner's cool with me. He's like, whatever you guys need. He gives us the door. He's like, just take the door. I'll get the F&B. Y'all
Got
good.
you.
Me and Anthony started doing the show in January of 2009.
Right.
Every third Sunday, Anthony come over, do it, walk in, bop, bop, bop. Place will be packed. We get the money. Cool. For a year and a half, we rocking, right? Getting just enough money to make it all make sense. Mm-hmm. I get a writing job at the same time, so it's now I'm living in Connecticut, coming down, doing it, writing on Are We There Yet? And so then the show stops, and then Anthony, they let him go from Law and Order. So now he's back in LA.
Got you.
Now I'm trying to get him to fly back to New York once a month.
Right.
So after a year and a half, no more Anthony. Here's the kicker, and me and Anthony went at it for a little bit because the anniversary show and his birthday show was always our two biggest shows. Mm-hmm. And he let me put his face on the flyer for the fucking birthday show. And so all of these people show up because it was the Anthony Anderson birthday version of our show and no Anthony.
That's not good.
And then motherfuckers want their money back.
Ooh.
And I wasn't prepared to give people money back. So then we just had to come to terms that, okay, it's just not going to work. So now I lose Anthony, right? And now I'm still in between writing jobs and and so now I'm struggling to keep this thing going. And I'm like, fuck, right? I'm sleeping on couches. Mm-hmm. I'm flying on buddy passes. I'm sleeping in the airport, right? Because I just like, this thing is now, it's a host, it's a live, I have a band, I have a DJ, putting up 4 comics, I have a closing music act. It's not just a regular comedy show.
Right.
This is a fucking
event.
Production.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Naughty by Nature's done my show, Chubb Rock, Kathy Sledge, Johnny Kemp, Jeff Redd, like big artists have done my show.
Got you.
Kevin Hart, Mike Epps, Bill Bellamy, Jerry Seinfeld.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big show, right? It's a big fucking deal in the city. And so a year and a half, like somewhere between that year and a half, 2 year mark, I was like, I'm broke. I got to still try to find a way to keep doing this show. I'm in LA trying to figure out how to get shit going. And I was driving on Franklin and my phone rang. It was a blocked number. I was like, fuck. I got to take every call.
Right.
I just don't know what this call is. I need a job. I need money. I got to take every call. I pick it up. It's Chris Rock. Royale Watkins. This nigga even get my number. I see what you're doing. He said, just keep doing your show. He said, just keep doing your show. He said, told me that I'll never forget. He said, be the star. I'll never forget it. He said, be the star, right? Because he knew that I didn't have Anthony and that I was struggling. I don't know how he knew, but he knew that I was struggling. He knew that I didn't have Anthony. He said, I'll be there. Just keep doing your show. And he showed up. Chris came and did the show. And man, this is the powerful thing about social media is that them pictures and that video, them clips, when that background, mixtape comedy in the background and Chris Rock on that stage and people seeing it going, damn, I miss, because we didn't announce the talent on the show.
Right.
All we pushed was the brand, right? It was a big deal for me. It's like, if you don't come to the show, you don't know who you're going to miss. And when motherfuckers saw Chris Rock was there, it's like, damn, I should have came. That feeling of I missed out started slowly but surely getting people to go, all right. And once they got there, it's like, holy shit, what is this? This ain't regular fried chicken. Nah, motherfucker. This ain't regular fried chicken. This shit got crack in it.
Right.
Right? And people started slowly. Then it's interesting how things happen. People saw Jerry Seinfeld was there. How the fuck you get Jerry?
I know.
How you get Jerry Seinfeld to do?
I can't wait till you tell us.
So Mario Joyner is an old school comic, just like one of the funniest guys. But Mario is like, goes back to those MTV half-hour comedy days. Mm-hmm. And I befriended Mario. And Mario opens for Jerry Seinfeld and he opens for Chris Rock. He was at least back then. So he's a private jet ass motherfucker, like flying around. You know what I mean? Right. But he's one of them old school established comics that they go, oh, this dude, you know what I mean, is like solid in, so.
Right.
Mario and I was cool. Mario and I worked on a project together, a short film or whatever it was called, The Intervention of Mario Joyner. It was like Jerry Seinfeld, Colin Quinn, George Wallace, and Chris Rock had gotten together to do this intervention with Mario, basically saying, look, we're firing you. You're not going to open, because you're too good to be an opening act. Mm-hmm. And so we shot it as a short, right? And it was me and Mario who wrote the project together, and we were directing and producing it. So it was like me in this apartment room with Jerry, Chris Rock, Colin Quinn, George Wallace, and me and Mario. And so now I'm directing, I'm giving Jerry like, oh, Jerry, this is... So... when the club owner knew I had an anniversary show and he mentioned my name, I guess Jerry's like, oh, yeah, I worked with him. He's cool with Mario. Boom, he showed up.
That's dope.
And then showed up again. And then I think we had him 3 times. And when people go home and I saw Jerry Seinfeld at the Mixtape comedy show. It's like, holy shit, what?
Yeah, it's a different show now.
It's a different show.
Absolutely. Is that why when I go, because I feel like when I used to go to Chocolate Sunday, you never knew who was going to get on the stage. Mm-hmm. And I remember one night I went there, and I think Alan Greer, is that how you pronounce his name?
Who? David Alan Greer.
David Alan Greer. Yeah, David Alan Greer. I mean, I've never seen any, because I thought, you don't know what I didn't know.
But
I didn't know.
It's such a, the surprise box is so much more powerful than the one that you purchase and you know what's in it.
Right. No, it's crazy. And I get what you were doing, but I never forget when I saw him there. Because I was like, oh, this, let's see how this is going to be. And
you
it was
build more
amazing.
Brand trust.
Yeah.
For me, the brand trust, the brand is the thing you're paying for. I want people to pay $30 to see the Mixtape comedy show.
Gotcha.
I don't want you to pay to see this comic, this guy. I want you to trust the producer and say, oh, I know what you want. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you something amazing. You thought you didn't know you was going to see it.
Yeah. You never knew.
You never know.
Yeah.
Do they still do that? The mystery box?
Oh, some people do mystery boxes.
Yeah.
There's a food my wife, she just did some shit. Like one of these restaurants, they have, I forget the name of the app, but it's something to go, some shit. But what they do is at the end of the evening, instead of throwing the food away, they do a mystery box, a version of that where, like you say, you get, like say a side would be $4.99, right? Instead of throwing the food out, they're going to like, oh, we're going to give you a mystery box for $5.99. And it's 3 different sides. And it's just basically the food they have left at the end of the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
So you don't know what they're going to have left. Right. It might be peas, rice, and corn. It might be, but you're going to get 3 versions of that for $5 rather than $5 a piece. So it's still a mystery box.
So how did you transition from being a stand-up comedian to now I'm writing for TV?
When you stop selling tickets and you got to feed your family, you know what I mean? Then you have to go, what's next? What else can I do to stay in this business? Mm-hmm. That's been my whole thing is like, all right, I want to stay in this business. What do I have to do to stay in this business? And there was one point in 08, 09, I was like, do I need to go get a job at UPS or FedEx? Mm-hmm. Right? Because I got to feed my family. My kids go to Sierra Canyon. That school costs money.
Yes, it does.
Right? And I want them to stay there. And so what do I need to do in order to facilitate that? I was like, okay, I can punch up jokes for comedians. I can go, folks is like, oh, I need somebody to put together a show. And here was my hustle, right? You got to figure out what's your hustle in this thing. My hustle is that, everybody that you want on the show, I have a relationship with. You're going to call an agent who's going to try to get the most for them. And I can call them directly and get them for the least amount because they're doing it for me as a favor.
Gotcha.
So let's say ex-comedian, let's say Cedric the Entertainer charges $100,000, right? Mm-hmm. His agent is going to get you to stick to that $100,000. If I go to Ced, say, hey, Ced,
right.
I'm putting this thing together for my man. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I know what your rate is, but I need a solid. I'm just trying to whoop-de-whoop. Can you do it for 50? Right? I'll be there. I'll punch up. I'll make sure everything, the foods, whatever we need to do. Ced is going to look at me and say, nigga, are you crazy? But give me 75.
There you go.
Right?
I love
now,
it.
We just saved $25,000.
There you go.
And what I say is this, just give me 20% of whatever the savings is, right? So if I save you $50,000, give me 10.
I love it.
Give me 10 and then let me show up. If I can host, I can host. But if I show up to produce and make sure everybody's good, I'll do that. It just keeps me in the conversation. Everything I've done is just, I've written for network television. There's a show, A Million Little Things on ABC. It went off like maybe 2 years ago. It's a drama, right? That's me pivoting, going, I can write for TV.
Got it. The one thing I heard you mention is that when I heard you talking about this, back in the day when a comedian came off stage, if other comedians watched them, they would give them notes and say, hey, you could do this, punch it up. And everybody appreciated it.
It was a shared experience.
It was a shared, exactly. Do you think, and then now you tell me now, do you think that, because I heard you say it's not really a thing anymore. It's still, older comedians still do it. But do you think that's because of the internet and people haven't taken the same route to get to the top anymore?
That plays a part of it.
Okay.
But I also think there's a bit of selfishness in, this new space where everything is me.
Got it.
Right? But again, the comedy club used to be a communal space years ago. So you can go to the Improv, and the Improv had a table set up and a space set up for comics to be able to hang. Like the Comedy and Magic Club still does it. The Comedy Cellar, which is like the flagship club in New York, still does it because they have a restaurant attached to the club. So you go there before your set, you hang out with the other comics, you hang out after your set. It stays open late.
Right.
It's a space for comics, and that's why it is the Comedy Cellar. It's the flagship club in this country, no doubt. But in between your set, because they do shows all night, then you're sitting with comics. Oh man, that joke you did about this, whoop-de-whoop, boy, add this to it. Then you got another show or 2 more shows to do, so you'll try it, and then you feel good as a group. Like we all should be trying to, but that crab in the bucket mentality for some comics, like, man, fuck that comment, I'm not telling. And I've seen comics go, I've seen comics take a joke that they should have added the tag to, it's called a tag, or punched up, and go do their version of the joke, and that's where things become problematic.
Yeah.
If I see you do a joke about Trump and I got the tag to it, or if I see you do a joke about, bitches on Figaro and I'm going to give you the tag. Mike Epps has a joke that I promise you. He said he took his wife to go see New Edition, and the motherfucker Ralph Tresvant kept singing to his wife. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh my God. I was like, I want that shit so bad.
Right.
Right, I know I could take that motherfucker and you know what I mean? I would take that joke and go, oh, took my wife to see New Edition, and the motherfuckers kept singing to my wife, and then have each one do, you know what I mean? I would have Belle Biv DeVoe sing to her, have Bobby, and then have Ralph sing to her.
Right.
You need a man. Like, you can see it, you know what I mean? But I saw Mike. Then some comics go, oh, I'm gonna do my version of, you know what I mean? That's the fucked up side of this. But for me, I go, oh, I can't wait to go help him build that joke out and add something to it, and then watch him perform it and go, oh, this is going to be fun. That's the magic. That's the magic.
Right.
Simple. Find simple things that you can turn into, because when the audience can go along for the ride with you, that's where everything changes.
Right. So I know you also an actor, right?
Yes.
So you did a movie with Sandra Bullock?
I did Speed 2.
Yeah,
a movie with Sandra Bullock. That's Speed 2.
Speed 2?
Yeah, that's Speed 2.
I'll say,
it's a pretty big fucking movie.
Cruise Control.
Yes.
Big one.
Yes. Here are the 2 big ones.
Okay.
Speed 2 and Deliver Us from Eva. Those are the 2 big films.
Say the next one.
Deliver Us from Eva. God. I know. But that's why we're having a conversation.
IMDb
it's not all going to be there. I'm going to tell you something about Deliver Us from Eva. When I go anywhere, even Deliver Us from Eva was 30 years ago.
Got you.
Right? When I go in spaces with black women and they look at me a certain way, they go, did you go to my church? I already know what it is. It's Deliver Us from Eva. In Deliver Us from Eva, I played a male hairdresser who was pretending to be gay to keep his job in the salon, right? And I think I did such a good job at it that what happened was there was a reveal at the end of the movie where I was outside on the phone talking to my girlfriend saying, no, babe, I'm dead. So that, oh, he's straight pretending. The fucking studio said, oh, no, take that part out and put it after the credits. So it was like this other thing when, if you stuck around after the credits, you saw the reveal. Niggas don't stick around after the credits. Seriously.
No, I know.
And so for a long time, people thought I was gay. For a long time. To the point where it became a problem.
It sounds like a problem.
No, it was to the point. I was like, okay, you know. And so...
Wait, please tell me they weren't hitting on you.
To the point where it became a problem. Okay? And that's deeper than just, you know.
I know.
That's deeper than that.
I know.
It's like almost like, okay, this is... So, that movie, BET at one point, was running Delivers from Eva like it was a TV show.
Damn.
Like, it's one thing to have a movie that, you know, twice a year, 3 times a year. BET ran Delivers from Eva like it was Girlfriends. And so, when you're in black women's faces that much,
right,
and you're playing a character, they know the face and they just, you know, trying to put it together. And then it's like, no, it's this. They go, oh my God. You know? But those were the 2 ones. Speed 2 didn't do as well as the box office. Mm-hmm. Because that could have been, I might not be sitting here today. If Speed 2 would have done what Speed did, I wouldn't be sitting here. I could have still had the house in Encino. But my role in Speed 2 started off this small. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a big role. And I went to casting, Jan de Bont, French director. Mm-hmm. And Royale, he found out that I was from a big family, and he was from a big family. Game over. It was a love affair, right? We be on set. We shot in Miami. We lived on this cruise ship shooting that movie. And every time, he came to see me do stand-up because I was with Gersh. I had a TV show. So I went and did this comedy festival, blew up at the festival, got a deal with NBC and Warner Brothers, made a TV show, got the show on the air on NBC, made 8 episodes. They canceled it after 8. Mm-hmm. But that time where you're bubbling that hot, after the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, NBC was like, oh, him. That's our motherfucker right there. Get him. They had so much hope and promise in what we were building together that my agent's like, we got to get him a big movie. That's how Speed 2 happened because they represented the director. So they had the director come see me do stand-up. That motherfucker was like, I was talking about being one of 14 kids and my mother did. He was like, him. The role was this fucking small. Mm-hmm. We got on that ship. Every time he wanted something funny to be added, where's Royale? Go get Royale. Go get Royale, right? Go get him. Because we're on the ship. You can't.
Right.
Okay, cool. Put him in this. And now, Royale, make this funny, right? I became damn near the 3rd lead in that movie by the time they finished.
That's dope.
And so while it didn't do the commercial success, when people saw it, it was like, damn, you got a big role. You in the whole movie. You helped save it at the end. I helped save the ship at the end.
Right.
And it's just an incredible experience and learning lesson to be a part of that. You know what I mean? But those 2 movies, like, incredible.
Now, how does that go when you have a small role and then now it becomes this large role? You're literally the 3rd lead in the movie. How does it? What is the pay scale? What is it?
It doesn't. Yeah, there's no. You still get what you.
It stays the same.
It's the number.
Get the fuck out of here.
The paperwork was done before the camera start rolling. The paperwork don't change.
No, but I've seen that happen.
The paperwork don't change.
Well, nah,
it's opportunity. You responded to opportunity.
I get that, but you got to help me just a little bit because I've seen when people do commercials.
Sure.
And they're not speaking, then they speak, and then they get an increase.
I did a McDonald's commercial one time. And the paperwork said this is what I'm supposed to get. I got down there. I was in half a scene. I was on camera and like walked by as a McDonald's employee. Had an emergency, had to leave. Guess what? The paperwork said I'm supposed to get paid for this commercial. That commercial ran. I wasn't even in the commercial. I got residuals on a commercial because they filmed me.
But I heard
so it could work both ways.
I know, but I'm right though, right? Like if you didn't have a speaking part and you're in a commercial, then all of a sudden you have a speaking part. Isn't there an upgrade situation?
But this is a movie, and I think he got casted with a speaking part.
I got cast with a speaking part. Here's the amount they said I was going to get paid. This is what they agreed to. Guess what? When Jan said, go get Royale, I could have said no. Why would I do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't have did that.
No.
Yeah. I was working with Sandra Bullock.
Working with Sandra Bullock. I'm working with Willem Dafoe. I'm working with Jason. I'm blanking on Jason's name. It'll come to me.
Keanu Reeves.
No, Keanu was one.
Okay.
Who's Jason? Jason Patrick. Patrick. Cool ass dude too. We on the ship. He'd get up. I mean, when you talk about action star, this dude would be up at like 5 every morning on the treadmill and run for 2 hours on the treadmill.
Wow. And
I would get up with him and go run. Couldn't do 2 hours. I wasn't doing 2 hours, but at least, it's like, let me. So that was the Speed 2 and Delivers from Eva. Those were but a TV show as well. It's built to last based on, my stand up and my family but canceled unceremoniously, and that's pretty painful. When you're on the air and the show's about your family and the names of your siblings and your mom and dad, and they get to watch your entire life show up on screen, and you're in TV magazine and they're flying you around first class in limo and staying in the nicest hotel and the upfronts and going to Carnegie Hall to announce it's life changing.
So on the set of Are You There Yet? You're a
Are
writer.
We There Yet? Are We There?
Oh, Are We There Yet?
Yeah, based on Cube's.
You're a writer?
I'm a writer.
Okay.
I got hired to write on that show.
Oh, Cube hired you?
Ali Leroy, who was one of the co-creators for Everybody Hates Chris, hired me.
Oh, okay.
That was a 90-10 deal where they made 10 episodes, and then after the 10 episodes were successful, the studio said make 90 more because they were selling them like 100 at a time. And so Ali was the writer showrunner, and he put together a room of writers and cats that he wanted to jam with, and I just happened to be one of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we started here, and then we moved. The studio was in Connecticut, and so we moved to Connecticut, and everything was there. We lived about 10 minutes away from the studio. Show up every day, write the stuff. They would film it there, and I flew back and forth for a year and a half. On Fridays, we would finish. I go straight to JFK, get on a plane, come home, be home Friday night, Saturday, get on the last flight, Sunday, come back to Connecticut and do it all over again.
Wow.
I do that. I did that at least 3 weekends out of the month for a year and change.
How involved was Ice Cube on that show? Because they use him as promo.
Yeah. He showed up a few times, but you know what I mean? He's loosely involved.
Okay.
Because he owned the franchise, because the film franchise was his, he is like, okay, we can do this TV show. Stayed as involved as he needed to be to help make the series make sense.
Gotcha. And go on.
No, yeah. So now, how did you, I assume, from doing all these shows, being on a lot of sets, when did you start visioning like, okay, I want to shoot specials?
Right.
Well, again, you have like two trains running. You have the writer side of me that has always been interested in writing scripted television. And then you have the side of me that says, all right, I need to feed my family. How do I start producing comedy shows using my relationships? And I started with the first one down in Atlantic City. I think that one was somewhere around 2010, 2011. Some cats wanted to put this show together for Jamie Foxx, and they hired me to put together the talent. I do that, and then some other cats wanted to do, they had a deal with American Family Insurance. American Family Insurance was using comedy to help get their message and their product out there. And these guys wanted to do a comedy special, and they wanted to use Anthony Anderson, the host. Me and Anthony were doing the show together at Gotham. So Anthony was like, all right, if you want me to host, Royale comes as a part of the package, so you got to hire him, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. They go through the vetting process with Anthony to see if he can be on camera, and he had shot something for Allstate. He wasn't even in the commercials, but he was a director, right? And he was in the BTS footage. And it's like, no, Anthony, we can't. And so I was like, wait, no, Anthony, that means no Royale. I was like, fuck that. And so I said, hey, can I stay involved just to help you guys produce the talent? They said yes. They said, we're going to shoot it in Atlanta. And I said, cool, I'll come to Atlanta. I'll fly myself down just to go do the scout with you. And we did the scout. And when we were walking through the scout, I was like, hey, have you guys thought about this? What about this? And by the time we finished, it's like, well, why don't you just come on board as a producer? So that one walkthrough upgraded me from talent producer to producer.
You knew that was going to happen.
I didn't, but I took a chance on it.
But you thought it was going to happen.
I was like, listen, why not? So
smart move.
Shooting Stand Up for Family, They did 3, I think, 1-hour specials, branded specials. It really was a commercial for the insurance company. But it gave me an opportunity to work with a guy who would later become my producing and directing partner and my mentor. Because when I worked with him, he's like, oh, it was good working with you. I was like, well, let's, we did another one and another one. I was like, fuck, I need to stay attached to him. Meanwhile, I'm looking for opportunities to try to shoot specials and build stuff. So then Centric, which was the offshoot of BET, they were doing some stuff. And Paxton Baker, that's my big bro, he wanted Anthony to do some business or to host something. Oh, they had the Soul Train Awards, which was in Vegas. They didn't have anything to go with it. The Soul Train Awards was on Saturday night. They needed something tentpole that they can shoot on Friday. And he wanted to do comedy. So he came to our show. He's like, oh, I like what you guys are doing. I like the mixtape comedy. You should shoot it for Centric. And so he's like, how about this much to shoot it, like 8 episodes? And it was like $40,000 an episode. I was like, no, right? He's like, no, right? He's like, one, I was broke, right? He's like, all right, how about 50? I still said no, because the number was like 75. Like, my thing was like, if I shoot this and people see it and it looks cheap, they won't pay money to come see it.
Got you.
So I told him no twice, and the fact that I told him no twice is the thing that made him go, okay, I could respect this dude, because he's not just going to say yes to money just because he needs money.
Right.
He's like, well, I tell you what, we got the Soul Train Awards. We need something for that. Why don't we do something for that? And I created this thing called the Centric Comedy All-Stars, which was a 2-hour hybrid award slash this show where it was an award comedy show. So we featured somebody that we gave an award to, and then we had comedy around it.
Got it.
When we did that, I brought the guy, Rich Schlansker, who was directing the Stand Up for Family stuff, over to that project with me. He directed it, I created and produced it, and then we did, I think, 3 of those, and I was like, okay, I'm locked in with him. Now as I start to build more comedy stuff, I got a director. And not only do I have a director, but I got a director that's going to mentor me and teach me how to direct. We stayed locked in for like 6 or 7 more specials.
Got it.
Until I got to the point where I was like, okay, Rich, I'm good now. You know what I mean? He held the back of the seat for me long enough for me to figure out how to pedal by myself, and, now I'm good. So that's how that, it's like.
What was your first one?
My first special
where you directed and produced it?
Sean Jones. There's a comic, Sean Jones, out of I think he's out of South Carolina or somewhere that. But I produced and directed his by myself. But Mike's is like legitimately the one where I go, okay, this is like big business.
The first Mike Epps or the second one? Because I know you did too.
I worked on like 5 Mikes.
Okay.
5 of Mike's specials, right? Some capacity, like writing, punching up, producing, being involved. But these last 2, Ready to Sell Out and Delusional, were the ones where like, okay, this is Royale going, nope, this is what the session looked like. This is my whole handprint on this show. Well, along with everybody else is involved. I don't care who you are, director is still a team of people doing it. But, me going from soup to nuts, like start to finish, out on the road with Mike, working on the show to delivering the show to Netflix, those 2 are my kind of flagships.
So I know Mike's latest one, Delusional was number 1.
Number 1
on Netflix. So
number 1.
That how'd that feel?
It feels pretty good. You know what I mean? Yeah, because here's something I'll tell you that a lot of people don't know. That last special, Ready to Sell Out, should have been number 1. And technically, first of all, it was probably the highest rated pure stand-up special on the platform then. But what Netflix did was they put it in the same category with that Tom Brady roast and that Dave Chappelle Kennedy Center's honors thing that they did. Whatever, I forget what the name of it is, but
the Mark Twain.
The Mark Twain, thank you. And to me, that was a little unfair. Because they're different. Those aren't pure stand-up specials. Right. One man, one microphone doing the work is what a stand-up special is.
Absolutely.
Those are comedy variety specials.
Right.
And so when they listed it, they had Mike at the number 3 position, and that was unfair.
Because there's so many other comedians that can attract people to that
Again,
show. Right.
That Tom Brady roast had everybody. Jeff Ross Kevin, Tom Brady, Nikki Glazer. Like, you can have literally like 10 of the hottest working stand-up comics going out doing these. So to pit that against one man, one microphone, to me, that's not.
Yeah, that's unfair.
That's not fair.
Right.
So I know this is my second number one.
Right.
But, you know, in terms of what the screen is saying, yeah, there's a screenshot in my phone. Mike Epps, number one.
So Mike's last special that you did, we talked about before the show even started, that emotional moment. Maybe, and you said you're literally, maybe you can tell people your process as far as you being on the road with them and
well, I mean, the process is simple. Like, we're out on the road for 5-6 months. I'm in the clubs and theaters with him. Like, we go out and do these dates together. We're out every weekend, 2 cities sometimes a weekend if it's a theater, and the club weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I record all of the shows, right? For the most part, audio, video. Go back and listen, and then he and I, it's a process where, like, Mike writes the joke. Mike comes up with his material, right? How somebody said, "Oh, you're right, Mike's ghostwriter." No, I'm not Mike's ghostwriter. I punch up his stuff. I'll say, "Oh no, do this way," or "Oh, you should add this," like just what we talked about.
Right.
But you can look at Mike's show and it's like some of the shit that Mike talks about. I don't think about shit like that. You know what I mean? I've never been to fucking stand outside of a dope house or, you know what I mean? Yeah. But again, I know in terms of the comedy rhythm and how to make things funny, I can help in that way. So that's what I do. And by the time we're finished, now we have a show, right? And now he has a deal at Netflix and they have bought the show. And now it's time to produce a special. Now, the benefit of me, like I said, is that as a producer director, I know the entire show. I've typed everything up. I know the order of things. Me and Mike have looked and moved stuff around. Wow. It's a partnership, right? And so when we go to shoot that show and I'm sitting in the director's chair and I'm putting together things and I know how he's going to move. I know when he does that Chris Brown joke, when he's going to get up and when he's going to do the dance move and all of that stuff. So I know what the camera should be doing. So I can say, ready one, I know which camera is going to look better. There's a joke that he does where, damn, I can't remember, but there's one where his hand goes up in the air and any other director may have not have been aware of what was about to happen. So I know to go to a wide. You know what I mean? I know that, you know, ready camera 5, which is the wider shot, give me that shot so I know we have it this way and not his arm up above a camera. Gotcha. Like, and here's the thing. I've looked at so much comedy and been annoyed by things that didn't make sense that I said, I'm going to absolutely make sure I don't do that.
Right.
And then once you start doing that, then you study it more and you go, I want my shit to be good. Right. So you study harder and look at more. And then when you finally sit in that seat, there's some shit that people go, oh, don't worry about that. No, motherfucker. I went through this with this special, right? Where there was something in the show that didn't make sense to me. And people like, you know, because these networks go, you know, they just want the show. And then the people around it just want their check. And they're like, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, nah. And I kept looking at it. And I was like, this shit don't make sense. We did this thing where we went from black and white to color. And there was a point at which there should have been nothing else in the show that was black and white. And there was. And it wasn't a big thing, but it was something like, and I said to myself, I don't want to 10 years from now be like, why didn't I fix it? I'm the director. It's my job. And so a couple of people who have a little bit more weight than I do, it's like, don't worry about it. So I talked to Mike's road manager and I kept coming back to it. Like literally, like it just wouldn't let me sleep. And he said to me, he's like, you're the fucking director. That's your job. And then I had to go, I'm the fucking director. He said, even if you need to go to Mike, you know, go to Mike. If you got to use Mike, use Mike. Yeah. And I had to use Mike. It's like, and they fixed it.
But see, those are the things that actually make you super special. I've heard of people shooting specials. I've never heard of anyone being on the road with them for 6 months and knowing the ins and outs of every single thing that the comedian.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
When Mike, he talked about this in the special. When he first came to New York, I was there. I did Def Jam. I was working.
Right.
I had shows going. I put him on shows. So we've been locked in for 30 years. So there's a relationship that's elevated to a brotherhood that has trust built into it, that when I'm involved, he doesn't have to think about the things that are happening on the other side of the camera. because there's somebody on the other side of the camera that cares.
Right. There you go.
Not just about the product, but about how he looks in the product. And so when we're shooting and we've worked on this thing, I know what it is, but we've also talked about going to vulnerable spaces and being honest and transparency so that when you get a moment like the one that happened, it happens because he doesn't have to think about anything but being completely present in the story. And when you're completely present in the story and the truth hits, and that moment was about him not being anything, being a failure.
Right.
And it was the intersection between being a failure and having to abandon his daughter, Bria.
Yeah.
And saying it out loud. And having to live with it. In that moment, being completely present because he's not thinking about a director that he hasn't worked with before and what's going on. And when Royale's on the other side of the camera, I know it. I know I'm good.
Right.
So I can be completely present for every joke.
I love it.
And we fought, you know what I mean? On the road during the process, it wasn't that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Disagreements and...
Has there ever been a point when you're doing a special and a comedian that you're working with, you was like, it's not good enough yet?
While I'm shooting it?
Maybe not. Because it seems like you kind of take the time to work with them and see what they have before you get into it. Do you tell them, say, we're not there yet. We need another month. We need another 2 months.
I'm going to admit this transparently. Okay. There's one comic I did work with where I felt like, we're rushing. We're rushing. All of the pieces, the way he wanted to do it, the way where he wanted to do it, the timing, and I was like, fuck. But sometimes you get so caught up in needing a job, needing to work, I got a family to feed, that you just go, fuck it, I'm gonna go. And that was a learning lesson for me. Because thank God, I'm blessed right now that I don't have to just take a job for the money. I still got, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Your kids still in school.
No, they not. They graduate.
Oh, they gone. They graduate.
Everybody,
okay,
we empty nesters. Now. Yeah. Or college, everything. They're empty.
I love it.
Yeah, but I will sacrifice a check for the quality and standard of my work. I'm not gonna. DL told me like we will. What's the saying about like we will serve no wine before it's time? Mm-hmm. I remember one time I was talking to DL about doing a special, and DL told me, he's like, we will serve no wine before it's time. And he checked me on something that I knew because I'd fallen out of my own standard of trying to hurry things along. Mm-hmm. And I don't shoot anything that I don't believe in. Another project, somebody's like, oh, can we do this? Well, I think we can. Nope. Like, this is what we can afford to do. This is what I know is going to look great. And this is what I know is going to make sense because at the end of the day, I got to put my name on it.
Yeah.
And when people see my shit, if that you see the flyer that I put up with the specials on it, Lil Rel's first special, Relevant, pound for pound, I put that up against damn near anything. Ryan Davis's first special, Underrated. Mike's special, I shot the Plastic Cup Boys, and Mike's second. Like the shit that I'm shooting, absolutely, you know what I mean? I'm walking away with W's.
I love that.
I'm not shooting no bullshit. Not shooting no bullshit. For a check, I can't do it.
How was it like, because I know Ryan, how was it like working with Ryan?
I love working with Ryan. Yeah. A little bit, we had a little bit of a hiccup on the back end of it. Mm-hmm. But Ryan's an artist.
Right.
And like Lil Rel, let me tell you what I'm a sucker for. If you make me laugh, I've been doing stand-up for 35 years. So I've seen every joke, you know what I mean? I've seen enough comedy for 10 lifetimes. When you take and put your life out there and transparently share it and then put creativity and art on top of it, I put a post on my page, which is Lil Rel's talking about his mom and dad. I swear to God, the level of transparency, and he has a joke where he talks about his can I have? And the joke is so simple. It's really kids begging their parents for food that they have, right? Your parents make you hot dogs and beans and they got something different. And as kids, you're like, Mama, can I have it? Can I have it? And his mother goes off on him like, I want, can I have? I want, can I have? And then she says, this is my anniversary fried rice. Your father bought me this for our anniversary. I'm like, God damn. Some fried rice for your anniversary? The level of detail that Lil Rel does in this one clip with this couple of bits. He introduces you to his mom, his dad. You see him and his brothers begging. That's the shit that is, to me, art. That's Damon Wayans. That's Mark Curry. That's Richard Pryor. That's Eddie. And so when I see that, that's what I gravitate towards. That's when I go to a frame shop and that gold ornate frame costs 10 times more than a regular frame. That's why I'm inspired to go get the gold ornate frame that costs money.
Gotcha.
To frame that type. And that's the shit I want my name on. Because when people see it, especially comics, and they see some fly shit, you know what they're going to do? They're going, who shot this? Who the fuck was the director? And then motherfuckers go, oh, fucking Royale.
Now, I know this might be a real tough question for you.
It won't be?
Your top 5 comedians.
Top 5?
Your top 5. You don't have to be in a particular order.
I mean, listen, I'm a Damon Wayans, I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I hold pom-poms. I've just seen him do shit on stage that.
Nah, he's amazing.
In terms of transparency and honesty and vulnerability, Damon all day long.
Right.
Bill Cosby has broken my heart. It'll never be repaired. But storytelling and comedy, there's an album called To My Brother Russell, Whom I Slept With. I was at an event years ago. And here's this thing. Again, forgive the part of him that was whatever, a sexual predator. That aside, I'm talking about art and the man that's created art. Blew me away. He was at this event, and whenever he come to an event, Cosby is like, get me to the thing. I don't, he's a huge star at, comedy is God. He God. Right. And I saw him, and my wife, who I was dating at the time, she's like, she said, there go your boy. And instantly I was like, oh, it must be Bill, right? And I turned, I looked, and that motherfucker had an assistant with him, somebody just getting him. And he got close enough. He had the blockers on. And I said, Dr. Cosby. And it was enough to get his attention. And he looked at me. And I said, the moment in To My Brother Russell, Whom I Slept With, where your brother says, shh, I think Dad's behind the door, and you have the word in your mouth, I said, it's probably one of the most amazing moments in comedy. No, he says, so the whole album is him and his brother being sent to bed, but they don't want to go to sleep.
Right.
And so they're just in the bedroom doing all of the dumb shit you do at night with your brother. And like, they literally go run to the bathroom, fill his mouth out with water to spit it on his brother. But they're doing the shit that, kids do.
Right.
And at one point in the bit, Bill says, I think it's Bill. Which one of them says it? I can't remember what's Bill or Russell, but one of them says, shh, I think Dad's coming. It's just a whisper. But you're listening to an album. So if you close your eyes, you can see his dad coming.
Got you.
And I told him that. And you could see him do the math and go, this motherfucker knows comedy. And that's all I needed. That motherfucker looked at me and said, thank you, and kept on going. But he knew, he's like, oh, this motherfucker knows comedy. So Bill.
Got you.
Damon. Mark Curry's a monster. I don't care what you see in Mark Curry today. The Mark Curry that opened for Damon Wayans in somewhere 89. Whenever Damon was doing that Mo Money tour, I went to go see him at Constitution Hall. Again, it's pre-social media. But I know that I'm going to see Damon Wayans. Hot off fucking In Living Color.
Right.
Mo Money tour. I think Mo Money had dropped. So now he's touring. He's coming to Constitution Hall. I buy 2 tickets, go out on a date, and Sean Wayans is hosting. He's S1W from the show. And Sean comes out, does 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, winner of the Bay Area Black Comedy Company, Mark Curry. Now, I've never seen Mark Curry. He's tall, lanky from Oakland. This motherfucker destroys. 20 minutes of just shit you've never seen, right? Does a set. I'm like, holy shit. Okay. They take intermission. Sean Wayans comes back out. He says, y'all want to see more Mark Curry? More? Fuck you talking about? Mark Curry comes out and does another 20. Constitution Hall is off the ground. And I say to myself, how the fuck is Damon going to follow this?
Right.
Damon came out. Mark Curry went this way. Damon went Money went this way. And the whole audience went with him. And by the end of the night, it was a show that just made me go, okay, I get it now. So, Mark Curry. Eddie.
Right.
Eddie, there's not enough Eddies. You know what I mean? You want to talk about the performer of, you know what I mean? Comedy? Genius. So where'd I go? Mark,
Damon,
Bill,
Eddie, Richard. I mean, that's the, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
For me.
yeah.
There's some other, you know what I mean? There's
Right.
some incredible, I've seen cats do shit this, you know, you catch, I mean, look, Chappelle is Chappelle. You know what I mean? This is his time. I've known Chappelle since he was 15. I used to chaperone him on the Amtrak going from DC to New York. We drove from DC, me, him, and do you remember Dave Edwards that was on that MTV show? Forget the name of it, but it was two Daves. It was Dave Edwards and Dave Chappelle. They're both DC comics. The three of us drove from DC to New York in my raggedy ass Volkswagen Cabriolet and broke down on the side of the road. So that's how long I've known Dave. Right? Dave has just become otherworldly.
Right.
But I've known that. You know what I mean? So like,
did you know he was gonna make it?
Oh, there's no question. The fucker was doing shit at 15, 16 years old in terms of joke writing and structure. Oh shit, this is just can't compete. Can't compete. So he's been doing it for so long. And he comes from education. He's an educated, you know what I mean? His family are educators.
Right.
So he's just had this worldly experience that's been bigger than comedy for so long. You know.
Yeah. I think he's, as a comedian, I keep seeing him evolve.
Yeah. But it's bigger than comedy.
Right. No, it's definitely bigger than comedy now.
It's bigger than
sure.
comedy. Bigger than comedy.
Yeah.
I love Mike. There's so much. Look, the Marine in me is always like, bang, more. Like, let's get this. So we fight. But I've seen him do stuff. I've watched him from the back of the club turn into Richard Pryor. And it's just the most amazing. Just thinking about something. Nah, I won't say
When you say Mike, I just want to make
Epps.
sure.
Mike
Okay.
Epps. Yeah, Epps. There's just some stuff that we're working on. I just don't want to say something too soon. But there's a
Gotcha.
one-person play that we're talking about that, man, if we could get it done.
Because I know that there was a time that they considered him to play Richard.
Yeah,
in the
it just didn't
biopic.
work out. He talks about it, the
Yeah.
estate, Richard's wife and all that stuff. It just gets funky and messy. And
So when you get a number one, like, stand-up, like, comedy, like, special, since Netflix is kind of weird, there's no back end. There's just like for the
you know what's interesting? This special got me into the Directors Guild. All right, so now I'm like I'm in the DGA.
Right.
And my wife was like, what does that do? Like, is there residuals? How does that? And I don't know. So I'm in this new space where now I have to go do some research to find out, like, is there backing on these comedy specials? Should I look forward to, like, if something, I can tell you what's going on in all of my deals moving forward, that if a special that I shoot for a platform gets to number one, then I have to be bonused.
I love that.
You got to bonus me like 20, 25% of the money that I got paid for it if I get your special to number one. Right?
Are you your own agent?
Yes, I have no representation.
No? CAA, none of
Nobody represents me. And that's kind of weird, but I just haven't, I just been out here
They coming
floating.
for you now, though.
I hope so.
No, they will.
I hope so. I want to do more podcasts. That's why I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm excited to do this. I really want to organically just do more stuff. And it's good to have representation and relationships and to have people out there making phone calls on your behalf. But the interesting thing is there's this way to do it independently, right? With the people where if they see your show, they go, I want to work with Royale. Social media has just created an environment
Make the
where
world smaller.
So much smaller.
Right.
And everybody's reachable.
Yeah.
Everybody's reachable.
I know. I love it.
Don't you?
Yeah, I do. It made the impossible possible.
Man, let me tell you something. I know there's a part of me. I remember Damon Wayans gave me his number. I'll never forget it. We were at the Improv, and I'm a little bitch for Damon. I'll tell you this one time. Because I love his stand-up so much, you know what I mean? The family dynamic and how he thinks about comedy is like right down. And I was performing one night, and Damon used to come into the Improv on a Monday, Tuesday. And just as a young comic, when you see Damon show up, you just knew there's like, oh, this motherfucker, everybody's about to get bumped. He's going to do an hour. So you just, as a comic, you go, okay, cool. It is what it is. So that means you just sit in the back of the room and just watch Damon and learn, right? And he came in one time, and he would always go to the sound booth and look at the list to see who was next. And I was like, fuck, I'm next. I'm about to get bumped. And I saw him talk to the dude. He's like, let him go up. I was like, oh, shit. Okay. So I was like, he gonna let me go up, and he's here. Motherfucker, let me go up. I went, did my set. He was sitting right there over there watching me. And after I got off stage, I looked over, and he said, come here. And so I went over there. He's like, yeah, the joke you do about your mother selling Avon, you know, like as if you, but if you do this, well, like it's not clear if she's selling drugs or selling Avon, you know, thank you, Mr. Williams, you know, but it's just like this thing where I had made a relationship, made an impression on him, made a relationship, and then later, as I was out here hustling and working, ran into him again, and he's like, "Oh yeah, here, take my number." Had his number, and still wouldn't use it, right? And I had to ask myself, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you have shit that you want to talk to him about, like, just call the motherfucker. He gave it to you for a reason, right? Right." I say that because Chris Rock called me. I don't know how he got my number, but he did. I have this thing where I've seen recently, this is not a practice drill. Like, this is the only life we get. And again, I learned the lesson years ago. Life can be this long or this short, and I got active, and then life, kids, everything, like, dissipated the spirit of that. And now I'm coming back to this moment where it's like, oh, you got to get busy now. Yeah. I was, out here fucking around doing a bunch of shit, like wasting time, fucking around, you know what I mean? You can get caught up in shit. And I've cleared all of that out, right? And now, everything matters. Everything matters right now. Go do the shit now. Return the call now. Drive to the thing, go do it now. When I lay down at night, I'm tired. I'm tired, but when I wake up, I'm ready to go, right? But this comes back to how we're all connected. Social media, you can waste your time bullshitting around with it. You can scroll looking at titties and asses, or you can go, oh fuck, so-and-so's on IG. Let me inbox it, motherfucker, because you just don't know, right? I see young comics send me shit, right? They see the special to go, oh, let me reach out to. You know what I do? I respond to as many of them as I possibly can. I get all of these friend requests now from comics. A comic may have just started a year ago. Might have 75. All of them, add them. Because I don't know.
Never know.
I don't know, right? But the other thing is, even before that, you can be intimidated. Like, okay, Jeffrey Katzenberg, Steven Spielberg, Spike Lee. That motherfucker's here. He's done all of this, these accolades, whoop-de-whoop, these award shows. You see him, like, you psychologically, you take and sit them on these pedestals, and you separate yourself from opportunity. All that shit has changed for me. Now it's like, how can I reach him? Like, do I need to go stand in the right spot? Do I need to position myself so that when he leaves the grocery store or leaves school, I just need to get his attention for a second, right? Do I need to call his office? Here's some trickery for your ass. I can call somebody's office, say, hey, trying to reach Tyler Perry. Who you? Royale Watkins. Hey, motherfucking Tyler, okay. Or call the office, Tyler Perry Studios. Yeah, trying to reach Tyler Perry. Who y'all say is calling? It's Royale Watkins. I'm returning this call. You returning this call? Okay, hey, Tyler, Royale says he's returning your call? Now I'm at least on this motherfucker's brain different.
I love that.
When did I try to return? Who's called it? Who is this that? And even if he knows he didn't call, the motherfucker might say, well, shit, let me talk to the motherfucker because it's just a different way in. And if you want it bad enough, you'll get creative enough to find a different way in. Remember when people doing them billboards? Somebody did a billboard, said, Tyler, put me in your next movie. Bought a billboard down in Atlanta. down by the studio. It's a female. And guess what? Motherfucker saw it. The word got out. Social media is like, oh, this girl bought a bill. Motherfucker Tyler put it in the movie. Found a different way in. Found a different way in. We only get one shot. Time is now.
So as far as people out there, who would you like to work with next?
Next? Oh, that's a good question.
Maybe give us like 3 names.
3 names.
Three names.
Next 3 names. Like DL is next for, like, he's on my plate now. That's big bro. Love DL. You know what's interesting is this kid. Let's say this kid, Jesus. This kid Desi Banks I like a lot. Okay. Really funny, really talented. Him and Mojo Brooks. I have to pair them just because I have a film.
I like both of them.
I think I have a buddy comedy for the 2 of them that I think will really do well. So I'm just pairing them together. But I want to think big in terms of comedy. Like Bill Burr is somebody that I really, really love.
Funny.
Yeah. Bill Burr's super talented, so I would put Bill Burr on the plate as well. And Dave. At some point, it would be great to work with Dave.
Yeah.
Be great to work with Dave. I have a project that I think would work well for Dave. And then my son does stand up, so I gotta.
I was gonna get to that. How's your son doing?
You know what? He's struggling like a motherfucker.
But that's good.
He's struggling, but it's good and it's bad because he puts me in a weird space with his mother. Because, and I hate to put him on blast, but he was a little short on his rent this past month.
Okay.
And so he called me, hey, Dad. And I was like, Ross, come on, Ross. And so I had to send him money for rent. And then I made the poor choice not to tell my wife, April, immediately. So then 2 days later, like last night, we were talking, and I was like, I had to send Ross money for it. Oh, why did you tell me? This should be, I could have called. Fuck. It's like, well, how much did you send him? And it was more than a little bit.
Right.
And so now it just goes back to this conversation. All of this shit is like, I don't want to have long conversations about shit. No, seriously, that's what it was.
Look, this is me to a T.
I don't want to have long conversations. That's why I was just like, bro, bro. But now we got to have a conversation about what you can afford and what you can't afford. And your mother got my wife is from Brooklyn, right? And so that apartment he has, I don't want to give away his personal business, but he lives in a very good situation.
Right.
And at a price point he should be able to manage if he had hustle. And he's showing us that he ain't got real hustle, right? Because when I was in New York, I was out every day with flyers. I was building shit. I was 24 with a fucking attache case with flyers and a receipt book in it. And he's 24 with an Xbox and, and the desire to go eat some bagels and shit like that. I'm like, bro, what? I call him at night. I'm like, are you at the apartment? Like, nigga, comedy's happening, bro. Why you got to go get it, bro?
Do you think when you come from a family, because you came from a situation,
I come from poverty.
You came from poverty. And so when you have a situation now, you're on the other side of that and you're raising a kid. Do you think sometimes we do too much for them?
Listen, here's the reality.
Okay.
I have 3 sons. My oldest son, he was 8 when me and my wife started dating. He's 40 now. He has his own family. He's grown, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm dad. If he look, if you say, no, this is my dad. Grown as 40-year-old man kissing, you know what I mean? My 2 youngest ones, those are kids of privilege. They went to see Eric Canyon. You know what I mean? That's what they grew up in, right?
Right.
I used to, like, this is so bad. My kids also went to like Encino Elementary, and I'm the dad that used to show up like pizza for lunch, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, your dad bought you like soup, that type of shit. And so, it's just all this thing where you want to do better for your kids than but that gets dangerous.
It is.
It gets dangerous because I'm a hunter. I get mines out the mud, off the dribble. I had to. I told you, I could not call my family for money. And then I became the one that, Royale now is the one that's going to rescue us from poverty. My sons, They've had cars in high school. I was coming from somewhere one time, driving, and I look over. My 2 high school sons are in the car driving next to me, waving and laughing, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Hey, Dad! These goofy ass.
It's like, I didn't grow up like that.
I didn't grow up like that.
Right.
But these are my friends.
Right.
Like, they're my sons are like, we're friends. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My kids be talking to me. He's like, shut up, stupid. You know, their friends be like, nigga, what is wrong with you?
Right.
But it's comedy in my house. And it's comedy and love. And so if we laugh, then we live. We live bigger life because of laughter. That's what's fed us. So there's never any disrespect. I know it's all love. It doesn't come from that. But we built on laughs around here. So the shit is funny, bro. Say that shit. Do that shit. Drives my wife nuts.
Right.
Man, shut the fuck up, nigga. Just fuck nigga ass nigga. So it's like, you talk to...
Right.
Come on. I know ain't no disrespect coming from it. They just being funny.
So have you found the balance, or you still struggle with it?
Struggling with the balance only in that I want him to hunt. I want him to hunt. If you can't, here's the thing. When the Lion King leaves the jungle for the last time, the lion has to know that he can take care of himself.
Right.
And I don't ever want there to be a day, woo, man, where I have to worry about them not being able to do for themselves. And I got to see him do it now. If you don't do it now, then you disrupt my ability to kind of be able to move peacefully on to whatever's next.
Do you think at some day he's going to make that phone call and you're going to have to say, no, son? Oh,
listen, if I don't say no,
right,
then I'm going to have a problem with the vagina factory. That can't be a problem.
Right.
Sir, on a more serious level, like, yes, at a certain point, it's hard to he lives in New York. We're in LA.
Right.
To have to shut down everything and come back home, that could be spirit breaking.
Absolutely.
But it may be necessary for, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like how the lessons we have to learn, the hardest ones especially, right? Define who we become later in life. Losing that house and almost losing my life. Those are life-defining moments.
Absolutely. There's a saying, and I can't remember it. Maybe you can find it.
About hard times?
Yeah. Play that for him, because I don't know if he's ever seen it.
Hard times don't last. It's
the black guy saying that. No, it's a... No, it's not. Hard times don't last. Like, yeah, find out.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
No, but I would love for him to hear it.
Yeah, I would love to.
It's important.
Hey man, I'm so glad that you guys had me here. This is meaningful. No, just telling you, like, you just don't know who and how things will get connected, man. I'm
First
grateful.
of all, I have an unwritten rule. If Jeru tells me to do something, it's for a reason. Well, and I trust him in that way.
Yeah.
I trust. He was just like, Royale. I was like, okay, let me give him his number. Give me his number. I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, he's not going to do anything that's going to put me in a bad situation at all. Yeah. And I trust him in that way. And then when I got an opportunity to look at your history, I was like, no, this is the guy we need to be on the show, because this is what the show is about.
Well, I'm grateful.
No, don't be.
We're
grateful.
Well, we'll be grateful together.
There you go. Play it.
Come on, Oscar De La Hoya.
Hard times create strong men.
Yeah.
Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah.
That's one for your ass.
Yeah. So basically, when the guy talks about that, he talks about it's a little different than that, but he just talks about what car he drove, and then how the cycle starts all over again, where now the new person who didn't struggle is now driving a Honda.
Yeah.
And the person who did struggle is now driving a Porsche.
Yeah.
Because the struggle brings that fire out in you. And I think sometimes as Black parents, as minority parents, we always feel like we have to make our kids struggle. And there's this line that we struggle, like, is it too much struggle? Is it not enough struggle? Are we supposed to help them at this point? And then we see families like, let's say, the Rockefeller family or some of these affluent families that are out there, and they tend to just help all the way and put their kids in certain positions. So I'm like, what are we supposed to do, and what is the best formula? And I have no idea what it is.
Yeah. I'm saying.
Yeah, I have no clue.
We're all trying to, fly the plane with the manual in our hand, real time, trying to figure this out. Shit, you know what I mean? Right now, it's like,
yeah, it's a crazy place. And the one thing I wanted to ask you before we get you out of here, it's really two things. So I'm gonna go for both of them.
Yep.
Is when did you realize that you made it? What was that moment?
I haven't yet.
There has to be a moment where you looked up and you were able to exhale and be like, wow, shit. You haven't looked back and been like, I did this, I did that.
I will say this.
I'm
Recently,
here.
let me tell you something. This flyer that I just made with these posters of the comedy specials that I've directed, I looked at that and went, wow. Like, really, like, God dang, man, you didn't put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the other side of the camera. So that was a moment for me. But some of the stuff that is important to me, I'm still working on. There's still stuff that, you know what I mean? And trying to find that balance between what defines success, what it means to be successful.
Yeah.
Is something that I'm managing right now, because it's important, I think, to find this healthy balance between the pursuit of and what is innate in you to be able to have a healthy, balanced life, especially as a married man.
Got you. And I know that you look to the other Lathan to be
Stan.
like Stan Lathan to be like the guy that you kind of look at as
he's a gold standard, man. He directed Def Comedy Jam.
Have you ever had a conversation with him?
Not a lengthy conversation, but I've been around Stan. I've worked with Stan in some small capacities. Like when they came back with Def Comedy, I was one of the writer producers, and he's now aware of my work as a director. And, has looked at me as like, okay, you know what I mean? I see what you're doing. But it's been short conversations, not the bigger conversation.
Got you. And what's your best Hollywood story that you're willing to share?
Best Hollywood story. Wow. I have so many. I'll give you this one. So I was a writer on All of Us, Will and Jada's show. Oh, I'll give you this one. I was going to give you one, but I'm going to give you a different one.
Okay. Can we get both?
I can. You know what I mean? But it's the same person. No. I'll just let you think. Yeah, I can. Well, I'll tell you this. The first one was, because it's the same person, it's Will. And I love Will. And it pains me that him and Chris now have the relationship that they have, because I love them both.
Got you.
But it just is what it is. But it does not take away from the reality that when I was a writer on All of Us, Will and Jada's show, I got hired based on a story. When my son Royce, who's now 26, was probably 8 or something like that, he came to me and said to me, he's like, Dad, can I say the word nigga? Fuck. Just in shock for a second. And I had to, in my brain, go, damn, how did that word get into his life? Right? I was like, he came to me as his father and asked. And I was like, damn, I protected him from everything but this word, right? And so I didn't have an answer for him. I said, son, I told him, son, I tried to find an answer that was convenient, like son, words that can be dangerous, they can be fun, but I didn't have an answer. But I had to now do some research, like how did he, right? But I thought about that Common album that I played in the car with them when I was taking them to school every day. And that word is in there heavy. I thought about the times that I was on the phone with comedians and they were in the back and, nigga, dude, what up, nigga? That's how I got into their life. And I took this story and I shared it with, I think, so Dwayne Martin, who's the star of the show, and our friends. And he had tried to get me on the show before and it didn't work. And so this story that I shared with Dwayne somehow got to Will, and they ended up bringing me in because of that story. And Will's like, I want us to do that story about the N-word because Kamani, the kid on the show. And they hired me. They said, this is going to be your episode. So we wrote the episode. I was so green as a writer. The room really helped write the episode. It changed somewhat. If you watch the episode, it has the kids playing a game and they play Go Fish and he says, go fish, nigga. So that's the way they introduce it, not the way that it was the original way. But what it did was, as we were writing the episode, Will got involved. He said, I want to direct it. So the first episodes that I wrote for TV is the first thing that Will has directed. I have a script that has written by Royale Watkins, directed by Will Smith for that episode of TV. It was nominated for NWC Image Award. But in the process of making that episode, as the writer, you have to go into the casting sessions to look at the other guests, actors that are coming in and read for these parts. And so we'd be writing this, okay, Royale, we got casting, you got to go into casting. So it's the casting director, it's the assistant casting director, it's Will as the director, and it's me as the writer. And every time somebody would come in, the casting director would go, ooh, Will, what did you think? Will, would you like that person? Will, and after I think the third time, Will stopped them and said, hey, this is Royale's episode. You might want to find out what he thinks too. And my mind went, fuck. I didn't see it coming. And they're like, you're right, Royale, what are you? And from that day forward, I was like, I'll never forget that he did that.
I love that.
I'll never forget that he did that. Now, the other story that I was going to tell you was that after I got off of that show, that ended, I was writing on another show, Till Death, and we were on a different lot. And we were on a Sony lot. I'm writing on the show. It's a different show. And when somebody's on the lot, there's kind of a, word travels fast. And so we're in the writer's room, and I just remember they was like, Will's here, right? And I was like, oh, okay, Will Smith's here. And so I have a very dear friend, my buddy, DJ Nash, and he got me on that show Till Death, and we were like, oh, we're going to take a walk. I think he took the walk with me, but it was a couple of the writers because they knew I knew Will, and they was like, come on, let's take a walk, right? It's always, let's take a walk. And so we didn't know where Will was, but as soon as we started taking the walk, there's only like, a main thoroughfare, and so we see a bunch of suits, and then there's Will in the middle of it. And Will is doing everything that he'd be in his charming self, and he's telling, and they're all doing the laugh thing, and da-da-da. And he looks up. Oh, no. He's about maybe, they're about 30 feet away from us. We're walking. And he's walking, and my son's like, okay, I know Will. You know what I mean? It's like, I wrote on the show. We're cool. Been to the house with the kids. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And so I said, Sss. All right. And he looks up and sees me. And the motherfucker says, Royale. And he stops this whole circle, leaves the circle, comes over. And the writers are like, what the fuck? Right? And that's why, okay, I do know Will. Right. So that was the one I was going to tell you at first, but I realized the N-word one where he stopped the casting director was the moment where I went, okay, how can I, That's so I have this really, it's fucking heartbreaking too, man. It's like, but again, me and Chris are close. It's like, why would that happen to two of the people that I fuck with the most?
Right.
So I have a brother that's in prison. And I have a brother I have two younger brothers that are dead, right? And there's this part of me that's in prison, and there's a part of me that's in the ground, right? And that's a dichotomy. Nobody who will, unless you live that, you'll never understand that psychologically being locked up with your brother and psychologically being dead in the ground in a casket with another brother. It's similar that there's a part of me that has this weird experience with Chris and Will where these two people
right
that I love dearly, you can't separate it. You know what I mean? It's like when you see somebody on the thing back in the Roman times where they're being stretched on this weird fucking
When you heard about that, where were you?
Fuck. Damn, I don't remember where I was. If I think about it, I'll have to go back.
Were you watching it live?
It's so weird to me that I don't remember whether I was watching it. Yes, I was watching it. I just don't remember if I was at the house or over another friend's house. I mean, if you follow me on social media, then you'll know that like me and my wife have a very close relationship with Stevie Wonder and his wife. And I just can't remember whether we were over there or over somebody or we're at our house watching the Oscars. But when it happened, I do recall, like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Like, is this a stunt? I was watching it. I did see it because then I remember, like, was this a stunt? Thinking it was a stunt. And then waiting to try to find out in the comedy circle very quickly. Like, there's just text messages that go really fast. You know what I mean? There's, oh, shit, this wasn't a stunt. And I'm like, holy fuck, we have a problem in the comedy space. This is a problem for comics, that this happened.
Right.
And not only is it a problem for comics, but it's a problem because it was done to a comic by somebody that we fuck with.
Right.
Tony Rock was on All of Us.
Yeah.
Chris's brother was on the show. So there's this really crazy kind of intersection of people that I'm connected to that made that bad. So I have so many more stories though, but that's the one that I'll leave with you for today.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing, man. We totally appreciate you.
Yeah.
Also, we asked if there's anything that you...
At Royale Watkins on all social media.
Okay.
That's what I plug. At Royale Watkins. If they're here in LA, Certified Funny. Every third Tuesday at Flappers. But what my goal is for right now is to get back out on the road, do as much stand-up comedy as possible. So I'll say I have this thing now. I'm taking all dates. Inbox me. Reach out to me personally. I want to do as much. I don't care who is with. There's going to be some people that say, hey, can you come do this spot for $5 for my grandmother? I can't do that. But I'm saying within reason, right? Yeah, I'm coming out to do as much stand-up because I got to get to the point where I do my own special because I have not done one yet.
I was going to ask you about that.
So that's the focus is like I got to shoot a comedy special. So I got to go out here and do as much stand-up as possible, get me some representation. But if they follow me at Royale Watkins and I get my numbers all the way up, I'm at like 31,000 on IG right now. The goal is to get that up to like 200, 500 or whatever. And then you can go out and tour. So
absolutely.